It is the home of the Bear Balls, one of the greatest inventions in culinary history.
It does smell fantastic in here.
As it should.
And, I mean, for me, this is living a dream of I have a bar all to myself. There's no one here. There's no one to spill my drink. There's no one to get in my way. This is as good as it gets for me.
That's right. They've got the bar. Like I said, if you've never been here, there's two separate buildings. So they've got like the food line in one building, and then there's the bar in the other building. And Jeremy has to be close to liquor, or he goes into DTs. So
I don't go into DTs. I prefer being close to the booze.
He just needs to be able to smell it and everything. So we are so happy to be here. This brand new partnership with Bear Smokehouse Barbecue. Make it one of your mainstays on your ball watching calendar. We got the NCAA tournament getting ready to get underway for today's action, the round of 64. It is, 12:15, I believe, is the tip-off of the first game of the day. It's going to be that Louisville and Creighton matchup. Still boggles my mind that Louisville is a top 10 team in the country, and they got an 8 seed in the tournament.
It's because the ACC's, they're not real good.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But if the ACC's not that good, then shouldn't your rankings reflect that? Shouldn't the rankings be kind of close to the seeding, wouldn't you think?
Well, you got to remember that the NCAA rankings are a lot like the NFL salary cap. It doesn't really matter. I mean, at least if you're a Saints fan, because they think, we'll just keep spending, and who cares?
Who cares? We'll get to it at some point. Tournament action today. We will have several upset bids today. It looks like the calendar today is pretty heavy on some of the favorite upset picks.
I know UC San Diego plays today.
They do?
And frankly, if they don't beat Michigan, Tank, I might need to ride home.
Oh, dear.
Because I'm heavily invested.
Are you now?
I'm very pro Triton today.
Okay. Yeah, UC San Diego is one of the late games tonight. UC San Diego 12 seed against 5th seeded Michigan. Utah State's one of the popular upset picks of the first round against UCLA. That'll be a later game tonight.
A 7-10 game, 8-9 game. Those cannot be upsets.
I mean,
you're too
they
close.
Have to be. They have to be by seeding. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's the problem is you always have them lumped into the upset statistics.
Yeah, I don't.
No, but I'm saying any statistic you look up is going to include, the 9 over the 8 was an upset, the 10 over the 7 was an upset, so that kind of skews the metrics on how often upsets happen in the tournament. We'll have Arkansas and Kansas tonight. Bill Self against John Calipari. 7-10 start for that game.
For the right of who is going to get absolutely suffocated by St. John's.
Are they? St. John's that good.
St. John's is legit the best defensive team I've ever seen. They absolutely suffocate you. Now, the problem is they can't shoot.
Mm-hmm. That's a problem.
And as many of my friends have found out over my life, if you can't score, it makes life really problematic.
The two quote-unquote local champions are going to be in action today. Wofford and Tennessee, the winner of the Ingles SoCon basketball championships that we saw live at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville.
That's cross-promo,
boys
and girls. That's what he just did.
The Wofford Terriers, the 15 seed, taking on the 2 seed Tennessee Volunteers at 6:50 tonight. And the Big South champions that knocked out UNC Asheville, in the Big South tournament, 13th seeded High Point against 4th seeded Purdue.
Watch that one. That's another one that you should keep a real good eye on because High Point has the best team that North Carolina mid-major money can buy.
Yes. Well, I mean, they have the best North Carolina mid-major money, so that tracks.
I've long said anybody that says money doesn't buy happiness never had money.
And has never been to High Point, apparently. They have a fantastic palace that they play in compared to the average mid-major stadium.
For sure.
I will say.
What is it, SIUE? That team that this is the first time they've ever been in the tournament?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they play in an arena that has less seats than my high school gym had in it.
They may. I don't know. Robertson's not that big.
It's pretty big.
That gym at Robertson's not that big.
It's pretty big.
Is it though?
Especially with the bleachers out. With the bleachers out, it feels more of a
more of an
experience.
Sure. You take out all the seats and
you probably
gets a little bigger.
Did you ever see it with all the seats out?
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not. The only time I ever went to the TC gym was for the blue-white game one year, the high school all-star basketball game that they do. That's the only time I've ever been in that gym, and I walked in there, and I went to Irwin, and Irwin has, I think they still have the biggest gym out of anybody in the area, and I was like, wow, this place feels small.
You do have a big gym.
They are. It's been one of the biggest ones for a long time because we're one of the only ones that has a second deck. Yes. Like you've got there's an actual concourse, and then there's like floor seats, and then an upper balcony seat.
I played in a lot of the gyms around this area. There's one I think it's in Burke. I think that was at East Burke. That the court is set into concrete. So the court is way down here, and you feel like you're playing in the Coliseum.
That's cool.
I used to shoot the eyeballs out of that place because all the sightlines were great. There was nothing back behind you.
Right.
All you're looking at is a dark gray wall. I think the best game I ever had was there. We played an AAU game there where I think I had like 6 or 7 threes in the first half.
Nice.
And my coach was like, I don't know that I love this because you haven't seen a three that you don't like.
Nope.
I shot one from about 35 feet because I felt like I could not miss.
Yes. You are the Cole Anthony of AAU basketball, I'm sure.
Oh, that's a good pull. And it's not, the only difference is he was way more athletic than me, and there was a possibility he might drive. There was zero possibility I was going to drive.
With your size, you weren't driving the basket?
Good Lord, no. I had there were 2 speeds for me.
I'll see why your coach was
post
mad.
up, down low. And if I post you up, down low, I'm about to mush your face because you're not going to like this drop step, bruh. Or I'm going to stand out at the 3-point line, and I ain't never seen one of these. I don't like it.
Well, I see why your coach was mad then. I have this 6'4" behemoth tight end of a guy, and he doesn't want to drive the lane. He just wants to shoot threes.
I was like Dirk Nowitzki before Dirk Nowitzki was Dirk. Because do I want to rebound? No. Am I big enough to rebound? Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Drive? Don't think so. I'll drive home after this game's over. That's the only drive you're getting out of me, bro. I'm here to hit threes. My social life and my basketball life are the same. We're looking for the threes, bro.
Yep. Very good. It is basketball season. It is the the March Madness time. Everybody's filling out their brackets.
How many brackets did you fill out?
2. Actually,
you did it
3.
wrong.
I did 3 brackets.
That's the right number.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
I just did it online.
I didn't mean did you whittle it out of wheat. I meant when did you do it? You do one when the bracket comes out. It's the first look on Sunday. Do it Sunday night.
Yeah.
Then you do the chaos. Oh, I'm going to be smarter than everybody and have all IUPUI go into the Sweet 16. And then the night before, which I did mine last night, you fill out the one that you actually think is going to happen.
Right.
Who was your Final Four?
My Final Four is...
I'll go ahead and tell you,
Duke.
This is a lot like a high school classroom. If you don't have a lot of chalk, you did it wrong.
Yeah, I do have a lot of chalk. I got 3 1s and a 2. I got Florida and Auburn. I got Duke and Tennessee. That's my Final Four.
So I know Duke is my eventual national champion.
Yes.
I have them playing St. John's. So I have Auburn, St. John's, Duke, and Tennessee. St. John's is the one that I am super, super confident of because you do that one thing that nobody else does. Well, I get intoxicated watching them play defense because they switch everything. And everybody can guard everybody. And then they come down to the offensive side, and it doesn't look good. It's not fun. They can't shoot free throws. They can't shoot threes. Every metric says they're going to get bounced early, and I'm going out on a limb and saying they're not.
Okay, I think I had them. I had them losing to Florida. I think I had them in the Elite Eight, losing to Florida. And it was only because I can't trust anybody else in that bracket.
In our YouTube chat, feel free to put out who you have in your Final Four and what your Cinderella is.
Most definitely.
We've already had a few comments. David L. said, these chairs look infinitely more comfortable than the ones in Indianapolis did. As the only person whose keister touched both, I can tell you, this is way better.
This is so much more comfortable than the New Orleans chairs.
The New Orleans chairs?
Yeah.
Were like Club Med compared to Indianapolis.
Oh, really?
Indianapolis, I could have been sitting on a hive of bees, and I think I would have been more comfortable than I was.
I was going to say, were you sitting on like actual bees?
So with an Airbnb, you post a review that everybody can see, and then you're allowed to send the note to the owner. And when I sent the note to the owner, I said, "This house is amazing, but could you do me one favor? Before I rent this place again next year, could you buy a chair with a cushion of any kind?"
Right.
It's the first chair that I've ever sat on that I think I could have turned it upside down and it would have been more comfortable with the legs. And then you could have sat 4 people on it.
Mm-hmm. How many, you said you did 3 brackets.
Yes.
How many different national champions did you have?
2.
Okay.
St. John's and Duke.
St. John's and Duke.
I also
really stuck on that St. John's.
I also have I have a weird fondness for St. John's.
Because of Chris Mullen?
No, because I was a stupid kid, and my daycare was right beside St. John's Street, and I thought St. John's was right down the street from our house.
Nice.
Until I was like way older than you would want me to be.
Nice.
I mean, you would think that was like hey, he was 4 and he was dumb. Nope, that went until like.
You should have been able to draw a map of where St. John's was by this time.
I don't know about that. I mean, I couldn't drive there, but I was close enough to being able to drive there that it was unsettling.
That seems unbelievable, but it is you. So
I'm real smart at the things that I'm smart at, and I'm real stupid at the things I'm stupid at.
Well, I mean, but you also had that book smarts thing, right? And like you were pretty book smart in school. You had high grades and did your homework.
Grades were solid. Would have been a lot better if I took a book home at some point.
Oh, okay.
And I got a 1480 on the SAT.
I was gonna say at some point you should have read that in a book that New York City was not in Asheville.
Now, that's the sad part. I didn't know St. John's was in New York City until like 2 weeks ago. That's not true. I made that up.
Yes,
that was not factually accurate.
Thank you very much.
I'm a New York sports guy.
Yeah, I mean,
of course
I
I
guess,
love St. John's.
I guess.
I would love Vassar, too, if they were any good at anything, but they're not. So.
Okay. All right. All stemming from your hatred for the Jets, which is crazy.
Well, I mean, at one time I loved the Jets, and I loved the Knicks, and I loved the Mets. And then I realized baseball is not my thing. And basketball in the NBA is stupid because James Dolan stole my love of it. And then Nikola Jokic rode in on his horse and brought me back to a love of it.
Yes.
That will come out in May when I don't have football to talk about.
Well, it is the Draftmas season amongst all of the March Madness, so we will talk football as well during the show today. But first game of the day in the NCAA tournament has kicked off, and you are more than welcome to come on down and join us here at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, 135 Cox Avenue on the South Slope in downtown Asheville. The Sportsocracy is live, and we'll have more coming up next.
This is the story of the one.
Clear.
Quality tech.
Yeah, sorry, you were live earlier. My idiot self didn't have the A serve up. I'd put the brick up where the A serve was.
Deliver the high quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume, ignoring the signs. Viome and fix your Star Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Monday, March 31st, the Orange Peel presents Neon Trees.
Hey baby, won't you
Wilmington will also beat Tech today. You can book that.
Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. Don't miss Neon Trees live March 31st. See you at the Peel.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
It's the moment you dream of. You work for.
All right.
Train for. Run
What are you talking about 3, Robert? I filled out like 15.
hours of gym time.
Yeah, no.
Court
that's,
time.
That's too much.
Prep time. All
I used to
Well,
do that.
you can book this.
this.
You can book this. Wilmington will beat Texas Tech. High Point over Purdue.
Stop
Justin
that.
Bodo is a machine.
Stop that.
Your moment.
Book it.
Ingalls. We're with you every step of the way.
I love your
Round of 32 matchup will be High Point and San Diego and UC San Diego. You can book that.
Like Bear Smokehouse barbecue, bear balls, mac and cheese, pulled pork.
Bet you it won't.
I got money on it, so you can book it.
Why they like to talk about their balls so much. And if you like ball things,
And you can ask Brian. I'm the master of the convoluted parlay,
Bear Smokehouse, the official barbecue of.
the 11-leg beast.
Grab you some balls today and join us for the grand reopening March 29th.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations.
I wasn't talking.
Like
You
Spencer,
also
who
have-
helped
no,
build
I
a
do not
bridge
know. You
out
also
of
have to tell
debris
me
to
when
rescue
we're coming.
7 families after the road was
We have a
washed
super
away.
chat, too.
Nominate your
Really
Parks
hope
Community
you see
Hero
that.
today at parkscommunityheroes.
Just mention it, and I'll
yeah.
play the drop.
ParksFordHendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy. That is some good, clean family fun there, ain't God?
All right, here we go. 3, 2.
Now we are back in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, and we are live on location in the South Slope, downtown Asheville, 135 Cox Avenue, Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. We're gonna have to have some bear balls here pretty soon.
I'm totally down for food. There's actually a shot that I'm going to eat Bears barbecue twice today because I'll also be at Guitar Jam tonight.
Uh-huh.
I do not know how long I'm going to survive because I've slept about 3 hours in 2 days. And you can only drink so many monsters before your heart just goes, no.
Yes. Yeah. 99kisscountry.com is that website, by the way, if you want to go to the Guitar Jam tonight. They have, local country music, national country music acts playing as well. I'm not a country music guy, so I'm not. I mean, like Bryce Leatherwood, couple of songs that I've heard of his are pretty good. Anyway, Nick Mack and the Noise are going to be playing. They'll be opening up. I think he's doing an acoustic show actually to open up the show tonight at the Orange Peel. All the proceeds from this event, the Guitar Jam this year, going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief, our good friends over there in Swannanoa. So want as many people to show up as possible tonight, given to a good cause, letting loose a little bit. I mean, we as a community are just looking for a way to get some semblance of normal. We know it's never going to be the same and it's never going to be quote unquote normal again, but we want it to be as close as possible. And, music and food and beverages, those are all great tools to be able to just kind of have a therapeutic release. And so you're going to get that opportunity tonight at the Guitar Jam at the Orange Peel. Again, 99kisscountry.com is their website. You can find the tickets there. I think you can also get tickets through the Orange Peel website, or they'll have tickets available at the door tonight for the Guitar Jam. So go on out, and Eddie and Amanda and Aaron and the whole Kiss Country crew are going to be out there.
Wilson.
Jeremy will be there. Ashley's coming into town. Yeah, we've got so much has gone into that, and Bears is a great sponsor of that event as well. They're doing the food in the VIP tent or section or area, wherever it is.
It's so long. It's been so long since I've been to the Orange Peel that I had to ask, where is the Orange Peel from where we're sitting right now? Because I didn't know.
Right.
And I'm still not 100% sure I know. I'm also the idiot that tried to park in like a one-car little teeny garage back behind Bears because I took the directions way too literal.
Yeah, it's like 3 blocks that way. Just so you know.
I have a nice parking spot right now.
You do.
I could walk that.
Yeah, I don't know if you should try, though. Because,
there's
a lot of hills.
It'll be a lot easier for me than it will you there, Hot Rod.
Well, that is true. That is true. But,
you can't go uphill. Yeah, you are currently limited to only going downhill.
Yeah, and that doesn't work out too well because the cheap-ass brakes on that thing are worn out after the Washington, D.C. trip. So, even a tiny hill, you have to use you got to manually use the brake, which is called your other foot. The healthy foot.
I did see you almost eat it in the parking lot earlier, and I would not have lauged much. Or that hard.
Right.
I would certainly have laughed.
Right. But you're going to have the ability to kind of cut loose tonight at the Guitar Jam, and then want to remind everybody about next Saturday here at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue on Cox Avenue. It is the To Hell with Helene party. Jeremy and I are going to be competing in a blueberry moon pie eating contest, which we're just competing against each other at this point. There's no real reason.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, stop it.
You speak for yourself.
After Jamie the Bear McDonald crammed down 6 of those things in less than 30 seconds on Instagram the other day, I feel pretty confident you're not going to be competitive.
All right, so he might smoke me in the pie eating contest. I want to challenge him to a beer drinking contest. We'll set 6 of them on the bar because that's more in my wheelhouse, as they say. Because, I'm not a competitive consumer, but if that was a thing, I feel like I would be the LeBron Johnson of competitive consumption.
Possibly so. My worries is that so will he. I don't know that I don't know that he's trained much on the drinking front because he is in way better shape than either of us could ever hope to be in.
And here's the thing: I've been training since I was 15, bro. This is the game I was born to play.
But yeah, there's gonna be the pie eating contest next Saturday on the 29th. Here at Bears. It's 5 to 10:30, I believe, the event. They'll have live music with our good friend Lyric. Caitlin, no, it's not Caitlin Clark. Kayla Clark. Not Caitlin Clark. Kayla Clark
plays in the WNBA.
We were just talking about her earlier today.
Caitlin Baker will be at Guitar Jam with me tonight.
Yes.
Kayla McKinney is a very talented local
How many
country
Kaylas
singer.
can we come up with?
I can do this for a minute. You know that thing you always say that Jeremy knows everybody?
Yeah.
I am the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
He's got a bunch of Kaylas.
I know a lot of people.
Kayla Clark, the comedian, local comedian, is going to be here doing MC activities and making people laugh. And they'll have. They were just doing the measurements out there earlier for the mechanical bull ride exhibit that's going to be up.
Well, and I'm looking forward to that. I've never ridden a mechanical bull. I went to West Virginia. We had a mechanical sheep. So it was.
But they didn't ride it.
That's not nice. That's not even kind of. It's fair, but it's not even kind of nice. My poor constituency. We got left out of the NCAA tournament, and we're taking shade from Richard Hot Rod Spencer over here.
Yep.
The fourth Esquire.
Yeah.
In our YouTube chat, David said he commented on my attire about me needing to because I'm in this very comfortable chair. I've got my legs crossed, and he said we're going to need you to stay that way. Look, I dressed for comfort today because there's going to be a lot of walking, and I may look like a gym mom that's ready to love again.
Yeah.
I don't care about your shade and your derision. My Puma joggers are very comfortable, and I love them.
Yeah.
And I just bought 3 more pairs, so you better get used to it, bruh.
So the To Hell with Helene party, you want to mark your calendar for next Saturday evening here at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue on Cox Avenue. Let's see if he's paying attention. Colby's back there hitting the buttons. We have a couple of super chats that we need to get to. Yeah. All right, there we go. Sir Jimothy says, if you're not a Gator, you're Gator bait. Go Gators.
Or you're like me and you're a Gator hater, and I will spell that very slowly for the Gator constituency. They have 2 different vowels.
I put you through to the Final Four, and that's as far as I could do it. I had an easier time picking Duke to win the national championship than I did advancing the Gators any further than the Final Four. Obviously,
I got them in the Natty.
They've got a real good team, but I'm solidly stuck on Auburn and Duke. I think that's going to be the national championship. I think it'd be one of the great games of our time.
Well, the funniest part about this tournament is that you got so many coaches that are borderline impossible to trust. John Shire has been pretty consistent in letting you down.
He has.
They've had a lot of talent, and they haven't won squat.
Yeah, he has, but I'd like to, quote one of my friends that was on Facebook yesterday and put it better than anybody I've heard. I think my grandmother could coach this Duke team to a national championship. So, I mean, that's how good I feel like Duke is, and it hurts me as a Tar Heel to say that, but I think Duke's got it. I think Duke is the team to beat going into this. There are going to be some really great games. I feel like when we get down to the Elite Eight and the Final Four, but there's going to be good action today, and we'll have it all on here in the Bears Smokehouse. So come on by and enjoy with us. Colby's already laid down his edict that he feels like High Point's going to win tonight over Purdue. And, I mean, that is a team that scores like 100 points a game. So
the only problem is, are they going to be physical enough to deal with Purdue? I did love, ESPN did an article that had every Cinderella, why they were going to win and why they were going to lose.
Yep.
And there were 2 unnamed Big South coaches. And I feel pretty sure I know who both of them were. Because I read it and I heard it in 2 voices of 2 coaches in the Big South. I'm not going to say who they are. Did do those games, so I know a lot of those guys.
I was going to say, is one of them sponsored by Bears Smokehouse?
I am not at liberty to divulge if our good buddy Mike Morrell was one of them.
Could be, could not be. You never know. You never know.
That's the funniest part about working in sports is that you see unnamed sources in stories and you go, oh, I know exactly who that was.
Yeah.
I had that. Did I tell you my story of doing that at the Combine?
No.
So I was at dinner with a slew of, I think I can say this, with a slew of Carolina people.
Okay.
And it was some of the Carolina football staff and some friends of the Carolina football staff.
North Carolina, not Carolina Panthers.
Yes, North Carolina Tar Heels, not Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And there was a story that came out about a draft prospect, and it was 2 unnamed sources of coaches in the top 10. Guys that coached for teams in the top 10 of the NFL draft. I read one of them and went, I know exactly who that is. Oh, how do you know that? Because he said verbatim the same thing to me.
Yeah, to my face.
To my face. His source, his mouth. Because I heard him say it. Which I'm not going to lie, my next mock draft, I believe you're going to see a market change. And it may have something to do with that.
All right, Sir Jimothy followed up that first super chat with another one. Yeah! you go. There's he's on top of it today. He says we should have a side wager on the pie eating contest between the two of us.
I can't kick him in the nethers while he's on a wheelie scooter, and he's gonna lose. Like Tank, for as fat as he once was, is not the fastest eater you've ever seen in your life.
No.
Now, me, on the other hand, I'm like Major Payne. I got stuff to do, and the quicker I eat it, the more time before my stomach realizes I'm full.
I'm definitely a lollygagger when it comes to that category.
Oh, he's gonna get smoked like one of the prime meats that comes out of this here Bear Smokehouse, and there is zero doubt about that.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen. One thing I do know is going to happen. Jamie is going to kill both of us in that, and I'm not even ashamed.
Look, this is not his. The moon pie is not in his wheelhouse.
Oh yeah,
because
it looked like it was,
and it was. He knocked out 6 of them in what, 22 seconds?
Something like that.
Is that right? The lovely Megan is sitting right in front of us. Was it 22 seconds? It might have been. She said it might have been less than
There
that.
you go.
But here's the thing. The moon pie is a notoriously dry cookie.
Yes.
And
is.
I will be following my moon pies with beers.
Okay. I don't know if that's a good idea. You might want to talk to Jamie beforehand. Maybe he'll give you a tip or two on, like, because I don't know if the carbonation of the beer would be good.
He was doing it with Coke.
Was he?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what he was
Which,
drinking.
first of all, G move. To be able to do those two things concurrently, that's when I, honest to God, got scared.
Well, it should be RC Cola, not Coke. You should RC Cola and a moon pie. That's a deadly combination.
I forgot to tell you, I just had a cheer wine for the first, a legit cold cheer wine for the first time.
Ever?
Yeah. I had one. Somebody found one in a storage room at iHeart, and that was the only cheer wine I'd ever had. I had a legit.
The ones we did for the promos. That's the first one you've ever had.
That could be a problem.
Your lack of excitement is. Your lack of experience in some things just baffles me, and the fact that you've lived your entire life in North Carolina, just about, and except for what, like, the couple of years that you were out in West Virginia for college, and then you lived in South Carolina for a while.
I was in South Carolina for 4 years.
There you go. Other than that, you've been in North Carolina, and you never had a cold cheer wine until you did a promo for the radio station.
That was
awesome.
That was within the last calendar week. It was delightful.
Okay. It is delightful, and you're maddening. Red Sea with a super chat. I just caught him sleeping on that one. He says Florida greater than Florida State.
Right now, that's not saying much.
No.
We have a basketball coach that's never actually coached a game of basketball in his life.
Head coached.
Yes.
Yes.
Luke was an assistant with the Kings, and I love Luke. I think
Luke
he'll be great.
Locks.
I still think Sam Cassell should have gotten that job, but I love them both.
Mm-hmm.
I know them both. It's no shade. I just can't figure out why Sam Cassell keeps not getting hired for jobs.
Because you don't want to be the guy who follows the guy.
No, that's not going to be fun.
Is that not a Sam? Because I feel like I wouldn't want to be the guy who follows Leonard Hamilton.
Sam would have taken that job if it was offered. I can 100% confirm that. He would have taken that job if it was offered.
All right. They probably didn't want to pay that much. That's why.
It's entirely possible.
They're pouring everything into They're pouring everything into football to see if they can get back to a playoff this century.
And Sam may not have wanted to deal with NIL and all the other things. He may not. It may have been one of those, if they offer it, I will take it, but I'm not pursuing it.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Take a quick break. When we return, we'll have more from Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville, 135 Cox Avenue. Come on down and join us.
This is your Clear Vision Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Thank you.
Pretty good cold front marching through.
I forgot Bear Smokehouse was at Cox Avenue. Now you get your nice balls on Cox.
Going down to 29 degrees tonight. It's a good 10 degrees colder than average for a sunshine Friday, high near 60. Breezy northwest winds have us under a wind advisory. 65 degrees Sunday, mostly sunny, and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Rocket.
High Points Key.
Rocket.com, a single seamless home ownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, even refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things home ownership. Rocket, own the dream.
ZipRecruiter is the place. Zip or talented team.
Tank, turn your mic up just a tad.
That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show.
Tank, turn up your mic like a notch.
On
So Mullet Man doesn't blast over you because he's loud as crap.
The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN.
I can't. It's got the commercials on. I can't tell right now, but if you do it up just a notch, it should be fine.
Easy to use mobile app, personalized discounts, and a quote in as little as 6 minutes.
Mullet Man talks too loud.
Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
ESPN Asheville, broadcasting from the studio at Radio Ranch. Log on to ESPNAVL.com and make us your #1 preset on the iHeartRadio app. ESPN Asheville, #1 for sports coverage in the mountains.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at
30 seconds, Robert.
Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated...
Hey, are we doing outside news? Are we doing outside news? Kill it. Okay.
ParksCommunityHeroes.com. Experience?
Heard.
Us today at ParksFordHendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumber than a bag of hammers.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, balls of fire.
On the road today, we're in downtown Asheville, Cox Avenue, Bears Smokehouse and Barbecue, or Bears Smokehouse Barbecue. There's not an and in there. Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. And we got another super chat to get here to hear.
Yeah, you're struggling with the English language there.
I am the.
For a guy that talks like 18 hours a day on air.
Well, see, that's part of the problem is you get me this late in the day. You know,
late in the day.
Yeah, I've already had my talker turned on since 4:30. So
I've only been awake for like 2.5 hours.
I've already been in front of the microphone for almost an 8-hour day already. So it gets a little dicey here.
I did confirm that your morning co-host was actually alive. That's the first time we've spoken in this calendar year.
Yes, it has been. And hopefully things are getting back to normal. Mark will be back in town next week, so that's good news for all the First News on 570 listeners.
Does that mean I'll be the last one that's still working from home?
Yes.
Josh is back, Mark's back.
Yes.
Does that mean there's like an expectation that I'm going to come back?
Yes, there is.
Oh, well. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings. But, I'm actually just going to do the show for Bears from now on. Is there a way to get a nameplate
Not
for
alone.
this chair?
You're definitely not doing it alone.
It just says this is Jeremy's chair. And this is where he sits.
It's like the Archie Bunker chair.
I love this chair. It's so comfortable.
All right, let's hit this other super chat here. A big one from Soaring Eagle. Yeah! He says, I'm in Belize on spring break. On Monday, I went to the Mayan ruins, and they had some sports game they played, but the losing captain was sacrificed. All I could think was, imagine if the New York Jets did that.
We did. Have you not seen Aaron Rodgers is on his ayahuasca trip, but that was our sacrifice of him. We send him out in the woods to get high again.
And he'll gladly do it. Soaring Eagle, be careful.
Aaron Rodgers.
Do what?
Did you see Jeopardy had an Aaron Rodgers question the other
No.
day? It was the answer was ayahuasca, and it was this spice or whatever it is a psychedelic that's used by ancient cultures. And Aaron Rodgers. And
Nice.
I know it.
Yep.
I know it. I know it.
That's the old ayahuasca.
You guys want to know some trivia?
Soaring Eagle says, Soaring Eagle is in Belize, and Belize, beautiful country, but I've been told there are some very dicey spots. So
There's
just
sketchy
be careful.
places everywhere.
Just well, this is the kind so my dad, my mom and dad went on a cruise years ago, and one of their ports that they went to was Belize. And so they went on a tour, or like a guided tour, and this guy takes them by this neighborhood, and the entire neighborhood is nothing but giant rock walls with broken glass on the top of it, because the guy told them, if you have anything worth having in Belize, there will be someone here to steal it. So, as I said, enjoy the beauty of the caves and the mountains and the jungles and all the things. Just keep your head on a swivel, bud.
That's why I was a big proponent of leg day, Tank. You should try that.
No, not a big fan. Foot still hurts. Can't do leg day.
Oh yeah, you're not a fan of it when your foot doesn't hurt. So don't use that as an excuse.
That's the only part of my body that actually does get a workout is my legs. We have, let's see, I'm checking the score of this ball game over here. Creighton and Louisville, 28-21. Blue Jays with the lead over the Cardinals with 7:30 to go in the first half. So
Creighton is like the Maury Povich of the NCAA tournament. They're always just kind of there. It's always on, and you never want to watch it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they have. I haven't watched a Creighton basketball game with any interest since Dougie Buckets.
Is Ryan Kalkbrenner playing in this game?
He is. Ryan Kalkbrenner is in his 14th year of college basketball.
Yeah, he and I think we played against each other in high school. I'm pretty sure of that.
He is indeed. I think 2-time defending now Big East Player of the Year. He's the only thing they have, though, that I can talk
Bailey
about.
Shireman, who now plays for the recently sold Boston Celtics.
Yeah, $6.1 billion paid out for the Boston Celtics.
Somebody needed a tax write-off.
Wow.
The Boston Celtics are not worth $6 billion.
You don't think so?
No.
Really?
I don't think any NBA team is worth $6 billion. I'm not sure the NBA on the whole right now is worth $6 billion.
Well, that's not true.
I think Adam Silver could just sell the league, and if it was for more than like 8, I would go, you got hosed.
There's still money to be made, and still plenty of money to be made up there in Boston.
When was the last time somebody looked you in the face and said, "Oh, I can't do that. I have to be home to watch a Celtics game"?
Hadn't happened. I don't live in Boston though, so I imagine it probably still happens in Boston in some circles.
Oh, I'm sure.
It never happened where we live because our team has been terrible forever. So it's not second nature to us. You get that Boston Celtics, history. The love of the Celtics is so much deeper than pretty much any other basketball team on the planet. Right? The Lakers is the only one that's even close, I would say. Because I would say the Knicks have fallen off. They used to be that big.
No, they're.
You think so?
New York's weird, man. When the team's good, they're the hottest ticket in town.
Yes.
I mean, did you see the footage from Tracy Morgan's little incident the other day?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately.
Why did we have to show that 8,000 times? That was Twitter for an hour. I just closed it and went, I don't want to see that again.
People like gross things, and I don't understand why. No, I don't understand why.
One of the TVs in here has Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock up, and they have Shamar Stewart going to the Eagles at 32. Or he has Shamar Stewart going to the Eagles at 32.
Yowzer. How many ayahuascas was he doing?
Shamar Stewart?
No, Daniel Jeremiah. Shamar Stewart's not going to last that long, is he?
No.
There's not a chance.
No.
I mean, there are people talking about
past 8. I'll be kind of shocked.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's a lot of talk that Shamar Stewart may be going to the Carolina Panthers at 8. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be there at 32.
I wouldn't be shocked at all if he did.
If he went to the Panthers?
Well, I mean, because Carolina's they're in a weird spot. I keep coming up on this of Jacksonville's still that team that I have a weird feeling is going to do something stupid. I don't know. I can't put my finger on what it is. I've heard Tyler Warren. I've heard Jalen Walker. I don't ask for much in this life. I'm a simple man.
There's no way.
But if you're going to take Trayvon Walker 2.0 to play with Trayvon Walker 1.0, please do that.
No, that can't happen. There will be firings. There will be
hard to fire
riots
somebody
in the
you just
street.
hired.
It's not. It's not at all. It's not at all. Houston Texans have done it. I can do it. They gave Lovie Smith 1 year.
It's because they were tired of looking at his beard.
Which is dumb
They
because
told him,
that's the best
shave
part.
the beard or you're fired, and he went, nope, I like it.
Nope. That was the best part of Lovie Smith being their head coach. I don't even kind of get that at all. Do you have do you have favorite bets for today for the basketball?
I mean, my favorite bet is over 7.5 beers that Jeremy consumes before this day's over.
Well, obviously.
You can currently get that at minus 17,000 on DraftKings. I cannot confirm that is actually accurate.
Okay, all right.
My favorite bets of today. Let me look at the schedule. I actually liked today, in terms of the schedule itself, better than tomorrow. I'm all in on McNeese over Clemson.
Really?
Clemson's so grossly overrated. Like the fact they got a 5 and Louisville was an 8 makes blood is going to come out of my ears if I think about that.
And that was another thing. Like so they're whatever, I don't know what they call it, the net rating or whatever. Like their final ranking, total cumulative ranking was Clemson was 22. Louisville was 25. One got a 5 seed. The other got an 8 seed. One of them didn't make it to the tournament championship game, and one of them did. And the one that did got the 8 seed.
And Louisville beat them to get there. You're leaving out that
exactly. Like I did.
Which I feel like
the committee.
Kind of important.
The committee drives me nuts.
They just played, and it was very obvious that Louisville was better than Clemson.
Yes, and somehow Clemson still got the higher seed.
Red C said Jeremy hating Clemson. Who could have ever predicted that? That should have been reasonably predictable.
Arkansas and Kansas. I think that's my favorite game tonight.
Tonight?
Yes. Because Arkansas is a 5.5-point dog.
They should be. Kansas has better players than Arkansas. And you got to remember they're adding Boogie Fland. And everybody says, I always laugh, and I can always tell people that played basketball versus people that didn't when they talk about things like this, because you're adding a guy in that hasn't played in quite some time. You realize that messes with chemistry, right? Like, for me, as good as Boogie Fland is, he has to come off the bench.
Right.
I cannot put him in the starting lineup because we got better. We figured it out in the last month. And now I'm just going to interject a ball stopper into the lineup and just think, oh, no, this is just going to get better. That's not how this works.
So you think that the upset's going to happen with McNeese? And you think Kansas is going to be fine against Arkansas?
I do. I just don't see how Arkansas is going to stop Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah.
Who another guy that I feel like's been in college for 43 years.
Mm-hmm. Interesting fact, I found this out this morning because I had to go look because I thought, this is Hunter Dickinson's 475th game of his career. He's played 160 games in his college basketball career between Michigan and Kansas. That's still 9 games fewer than Armando Bacot played at Carolina. Armando played 169 games. And there's Bo and Karen Walker coming in.
It's because they're just like the best people on the planet.
Love it.
They're just like the...
It's always a party when Bo and Karen show up.
They're our favoriteest people.
We love you too. It is the Sportsocracy live here at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville, Cox Avenue. We're hanging out today. We'll be here tomorrow doing the show live as well. College basketball on the tube.
I may just ride down to Guitar Jam, have some, and then sleep in this chair right here.
There you go. I'm sure they'll let you do that. No problem.
You never know. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take there.
Very true. We'll continue the conversation about the NCAA tournament as well as what's going on in the NFL offseason and the Draftmas season as well. How kooky are some of the takes getting with, all of the prognostications that are out there. Don't forget to hit us up on the social medias at The Sportsocracy. Join us on the YouTube stream as well to get those super chats in. We will be right back here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
At Tractor Supply,
Clear.
you know that a win.
It was clipping just a tad. I don't know why, but it.
Dude, thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. Life out here.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Oh, really? That's great. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that. Did you say I just said that? Yeah, I'm cutting you off. I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match.
Yeah, you're going to come out slightly under the top, though.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
ESPN Asheville, broadcasting from the Ingalls studio at Radio Ranch. Log on to ESPNAVL.com and make us your #1 preset on the iHeartRadio app. ESPN Asheville, #1 for sports coverage in the mountains.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville is back. Join us on the 29th at Bears on the South Slope for a lighthearted, rage-releasing benefit party appropriately named To Hell with Helene. We'll exercise some demons together. A little axe throwing, a pie eating contest, mechanical bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say To Hell with Helene with us at Bears Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty good cold front marching through Asheville. Most of the rains are now
3 minutes
east of us.
I just sent some very important ayahuasca fun facts to your cellular device, Robert.
9 degrees tonight. It's a good
some very important fun facts about ayahuasca to your cellular device.
Breezy northwest winds have a wind advisory. Sunshine Saturday, 65 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options.
Don't ask me how I know.
Personalized discounts and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Listeners are always asking about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Trouble sleeping, walking day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app yet?
I have this go-to playlist. Boom, made it a preset.
It's like the only app you need.
The #1 radio app. Get in on what everyone's talking about.
15 plus the intro.
ESPN Asheville, your #1 preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMSF Waynesville, U25 CJ Candler. Free. Never sounded so good. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingles studio.
3, 2.
On ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We are heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. And don't forget to watch us live as well on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. If we sound different, well, it looks a little bit different on the YouTube stream today because we are live on location at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville. We are at the Cox Avenue location, and they've got all the food for you here, just lined up. Bo and Karen are here, chowing down, enjoying some of the fine victuals that they have here at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue.
The spicy barbecue sauce, I highly recommend.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. I like to do. Did you? So when you were a kid and you played like Little League baseball.
Unfortunately.
Did you got the free drink at the end?
Snow cone. Play a half game, get a whole snow cone.
No,
I'd rather play a half game.
I didn't grow up in a fancy area. We didn't get snow cones, so you got a free drink. You got to go to this concession stand. And
you were
get
that suicide kid,
I was the suicide. That's exactly what I'm going. Where I'm going with this. You do the suicide of the barbecue sauces here at Bears. You get the spicy, the sweet, and you do all of them. And it's one of the greatest concoctions you'll ever try.
If you didn't play Little League baseball, that beverage we're referring to is you take every fountain drink and pour them into the same thing, and it turns into the nastiest concoction of crap.
Oh, it's so good. I don't know what you're
Oh, it was
smoking.
awful. I never understood. I think that's – you always say I had like a Guantanamo Bay childhood. It's that I looked at the things other kids did and went, hey, why are you dumb? Like, why do you keep doing dumb things? Because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, every one of those beverages is good by itself. You know what makes it taste like crap? When you try to drink all 8 of them at the same time.
Man, your taster's broken.
Coming from the man that goes to the Liver Mush Festival. And mic drop.
That's not a mic drop. You're missing out. Again, your ignorance to North Carolina delicacies is showing, sir.
Nah,
and I
like
believe you should stop.
I like the meat on a animal. I don't need the innards.
Don't know what to tell you. You're just being wasteful at that point. My grandmama told me you don't ever waste food. Hence why I weigh 400 pounds, or did at one time in my life.
You don't anymore.
I do not anymore. But
Although, I guess we need new imaging for the new year, because I will say this: and obviously with Bears being a new sponsor, we had to give them our package of all the things to put on branding and stuff.
Right.
And I was going through all of the pictures we have of you there, Richard, Cantankerous Spencer, the fourth. It is really funny to watch the time lapse of your head. Like, you look like if I went 3 or 4 more clicks to the right, eventually you turn into that guy from Men in Black, where his head was like, because you went from cinder block to basketball to where it is now.
You don't have an analogy for where I'm at now?
No, because it's bigger than a softball.
Yeah, it's totally different.
It's oblong. Like, and the funny thing is, it's getting narrower, but it's not getting shorter. So eventually, I'm afraid you're going to look like Hey Arnold.
Nah, it's just like a really fat bowling pin.
That's a weird way to say ball, but okay.
My head's not round enough, though. My head's not round enough to be a ball. It definitely is very egg-shaped.
And it comes to a point like Dan Aykroyd in Coneheads.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. It's just a little different shaped bowling pin. Anyhow.
It's all right. I look like a middle school gym teacher at this point. I'm fine with it. Yeah. I'm here for comfort.
You come on down to Bears Smokehouse Barbecue on Cox Avenue. We'll, as I said, we're hanging out here for today's show. We'll be here for tomorrow's show as well. We got the TVs on with the tournament games happening. High Point and Purdue halfway through the first half, and it's a tie ball game, 20 all.
If you stop paying attention to Louisville and Creighton when we went to that last break, have no fear. Louisville hasn't scored since.
Yes.
That game went from fun and close to oh my.
Yeah.
And they hit a 3 as I said that. I think I can dictate this game. Whichever way I go, you should do the other thing.
The Louisville Cardinals going into the half down by 12, 49-37. No?
That 3 had already counted. It's 49-34.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for it to change up there on that screen.
No, 49-34.
49-34, excuse me. So a 15-point deficit for Louisville, one of only 4 ACC teams to actually make the NCAA tournament. So it's not going to be real good if, I don't know, McNeese State comes up with an upset today and Louisville gets beat by Creighton and – we don't have that game till tomorrow, but then we'll go into tomorrow with only Duke and Carolina left. Sad times for the ACC.
Hey, you agree with Rick Pitino that the Big East and the ACC should just merge?
Yes, I do. I felt that way for a long time. If your league is not competitive, why would you say no to anything that could make you competitive?
All right, so I want you to say this out loud. The ACC just kept adding teams, and it made them less and less competitive. So let's go add, 12 more?
Yeah, but you're adding better teams.
Well, you thought you were adding better teams last time.
No, you didn't.
Boston College was a good basketball school at one time.
Not before they joined the ACC, though.
No, they joined the ACC in, 2009? They were a consistent NCAA tournament. I thought it was earlier than that.
I think it was earlier than that.
They were a consistent in the Scooney Penn days. They were in the tournament every single year, and they were not to be trifled with.
I never paid attention.
Al Skinner.
I never paid attention to Boston College basketball until like Jared Dudley was there.
I did, because Scooney Penn and I had one thing in common. I think we wore the same size shorts. Mine were big on me, and I had him by 4 or 5 inches.
Nice. Yeah, no, that was a move that was made for football. You're bringing in Miami, you're bringing in Virginia Tech, you're bringing in Syracuse, who was a national title contender in the days before they joined the ACC, and then after that, it didn't happen, right? None of those teams ever did anything for us in football. And now you've brought in Cal and SMU. Like, none of that was that was supposed to do anything but bring you to a better media market.
Well, the funny thing is SMU might now be the 4th best basketball program in the ACC.
Sure. But that's also because they're spending money.
They have deep pockets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There was not a show called Dallas about insane wealth for no reason.
Right. So, yeah, if they wanted to join up with the Big East, I'm completely on board with that. I've always felt like UConn belongs in the ACC. I've always
oh, God, that means we have to take them in football, though.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
As a fan of the premier institution, football-wise, in the ACC, we don't need any more bottom feeders.
We already have Boston College. It can't get much worse than that.
You know that's why Miami and Florida State, it's one of the things killing them. You play less games close to home. Like, I'm having to go to UConn. I don't want to go to UConn. I'll go to Florida and play in Alabama, and the furthest I have to go is Missouri.
That's killing the recruiting?
That's one of them, yeah.
I feel like
for sure one of them.
I feel like that's a very small portion of that. But
you get a lot of kids that
maybe
are those 3-4-star recruits that are not getting 50 offers. They want to play games close to home. They want their mom and dad to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the mom and dad of the
that's right.
Of the Tankerus himself have appeared.
Yeah. Yeah. Mama Tank, Daddy Tank, they've showed up.
I'm committed to
that big crowd behind you decided to come down.
We didn't ask if the bar was even open. I do love that people show up when I'm not even sure. Is the bar even open?
No, not until 4.
We did not ask that question. I missed that.
Oh, it is the Sportsocracy live on location at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville. Yes, the bar is not officially open until 4 o'clock, but
I think they may have told me that, but I didn't want to hear the words "the bar is not open."
They did. We had
that order, and so I just ignored it.
We did that. We had that whole discussion before the show started of, we don't want them coming in when they come in at 3 and taking down the chairs behind us. You remember that conversation that we had before the show started?
I was still worried about trying to figure out where the Parks Ford Mobile Studio was going to go.
That big old truck.
I tried to hide it into the smallest parking spot in Buncombe County before I realized, I'm taking the directions way too literal.
Yeah, that big old truck is not your friend when you're trying to park in downtown Asheville.
Oh, at some point when your foot is weller, I'll show you what I tried to park in, and you will laugh at how stupid your radio partner actually is.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure I could have parked a Fiat where I tried to park that truck. And I got about halfway in it before I went, no, this is not happening. This is not going to work.
Very good. Let's see. We got another super chat that we need to get to.
Handful of them, I think.
Do we?
Yeah! Yeah!
All right, let's see here. Yeah, we do have a couple of them to get to here. Let's go. Red Sea, he says, as someone who lives in or very close to the market, I can honestly say that UConn gets more press than the Celtics.
The NBA is hard. It's hard to pub right now.
Interesting.
I mean, because the product's so hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I played this sport for a long time, and I was a 3-point guy. And even I watch it and go, good Lord, can somebody not run a play of some kind?
That does take me off of the game. I mean, that takes me off of the entire game of basketball in general, though. Like, if you have it, like, the way the Tar Heels were playing early in the season was kind of that Splash Brothers, Golden State style basketball where we're just going down and we're chucking up threes. And we'll shoot 50 of them in a game and we might hit 20. I hate that with a passion. And so it takes the interest out of it to me. I'm not here to watch a three-point shooting competition. If I did, I'd watch All-Star Weekend.
You're going to like St. John's. Have you watched them at all this year?
I have not.
But based on what you just said, you're going to like them a lot.
Well, good, because I like that older school basketball. I like both sides of the floor, heavy intensity. If they're running press, I'm all the way in. Do they run press? Do they do press Virginia? Because I'm in.
Not really. No, they play more in the half court, but they switch everything.
Nice.
And it is. I'll in the break, I've got a clip from Twitter that I'll show you of St. John's that you'll watch that and go, that's what basketball looked like in 1985.
Yep.
And I'm a big fan of it. And it's not shocking that Rick Pitino's the one coaching it.
Let's see. Super chat from Sir Jimothy.
Yeah!
Says DC looking at Skittle Boy.
That would be Cam
Scataboo. Thoughts on DC looking at Scataboo?
They're gonna draft a running back, so it's a question of which one. Cam Scataboo is officially he's getting into like that cult phenomenon phase of he's not as good as y'all seem to think he is. Mm-hmm. And I was actually on a conference call a couple days ago with a few other scouts, and we were talking about Scataboo. If you put him in the right role, I'm good. The problem is that I feel like a team's going to draft him because we have 3 bell cows. Yeah. Like Genty is a bell cow running back. Mm-hmm. Marion Hampton is a bell cow running back.
Yes.
I thought I was going to be really spicy that I had them super close. I have the rankings from 5 other analysts that don't put out rankings. 2 of them have Hampton ahead of Genty.
Really?
The other 3 have him within 5 spots on the overall total board.
Right.
And then Caleb Johnson.
Okay, kid from Iowa.
Yes, those 3 are legit, no doubt, bell cow backs. There's a significant drop-off, and I don't think people want to – they like Scataboo. Mm-hmm. They saw him against Texas. They saw him lead Arizona State. They like the kid, and he's a likable kid.
Yeah. He's
also not real fast. He's not real athletic.
And he's also the next great white hype. I mean,
well, he's a short kid.
That plays a factor into it. Plays a factor into it. A lot of us are like, hey, maybe we could have a running back we could cheer for that's not named Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go that path because I don't think that's. Look, would I like him in Washington? Maybe because I would like the combination with Eckler because Eckler does a lot of what he can't do.
It's kind of like I was introducing the parents the other day to Shane Gillis. They didn't know who Shane Gillis was.
Oh my God!
So we started watching Shane Gillis videos on YouTube.
That open from Saturday Night Live might be legitimately the most perfectly sculpted 8 minutes I've ever seen. Because for 7 minutes and 45 seconds, you're going, "What in the hell are you talking about?" Then he gets to the punchline, and you go.
Done.
That was great.
It was brilliant. But we found an old stand-up of his that was probably from like 2020 where he starts talking about white corners in the NFL and that there are no white corners and there will never be a white corner in the NFL. And that's how you know that the old days were not as great as today because they had white guys playing corner for Texas back in 1960-something. And I thought, you know what? I bet old Cooper DeJean sits back and watches that and just goes, "What you say now, boy?"
Old Cooper.
Old Cooper.
Old Cooper. I do love that Philadelphia in 1 year went, "Hey, our secondary is our biggest problem." Cool. They're all gone now.
Done.
All of them are gone now.
No, they fixed it.
Yeah. There's still one spot because Cooper's a slot guy.
Well,
everybody keeps talking about them taking an edge. I won't be shocked if Philadelphia takes a corner because they're in the wheelhouse of about 5 of them.
Right.
And if they wind up with Savon Ravel, I hate to tell you this, but your Bucks he's
we're
fallen
going
out of
away.
the range for you.
We're going away.
Because you're not going to take him that high. It's tough when a guy can't run.
We might get Jade Barron, I think. I've heard some rumblings about they're kind of liking him.
I would be shocked if he fell that far. Although there's been a lot of talk of him falling. It's so funny to get to this point. But I mean, you and I've done a lot of drafts together, and I always thought I had smart people that I talked to, and now I realize how dumb some of the people that I used to talk to actually are. Because I'm talking to guys that work for NFL teams, and they're going, "Nah, dude, that's a media thing." Like the media guys latch onto that. The scouts are in the back room laughing at how stupid that is.
What?
So Jade Barron, I don't know a guy in actual scouting that doesn't have him in the top 15.
Okay.
The media guys keep looking at him as he's too short, or he didn't run fast enough, or whatever the case may be. And I say that to all the scouts, and they go, "Cool, let him fall to us."
Yeah.
Because I'll do that thing that you talk about of I'm going to put a broom through the door until it ain't nobody getting out of this room until we hand in a card that says Jade Barron.
Right.
Like San Francisco. That's the team I keep looking at with Jade going, it's possible they would take him over Will Johnson. Even as good as I think a fit Will Johnson is in that scheme.
Yesterday, I believe, I don't know if it got posted yesterday or if it got updated yesterday or I just saw the link yesterday, but the updated top 100 from PFF, Jade Barron was like 8.
Oh, Trevor loves Jade.
Yeah.
He was, I'm not going to say he was the first truther, but he was the first one going, you do realize that he's now played every position in the secondary, and he just won the Jim Thorpe Award playing probably the worst position he plays, which is outside corner.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We are live on the road today at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, 135 Cox Avenue on the South Slope in downtown Asheville. Come on by, grab you some balls. We'll be right back.
At Tractor Supply.
Beautiful. Clear.
Teamwork and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life, out here.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tackle your spring cleaning list with Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning Spring Sale. Mention ESPN Asheville and get 3 rooms for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer. Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or
40 seconds
the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted neighbors and began the cleanup effort. At parksfordhendersonville.com.
It's picking up everything.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
All right, y'all ready? 3, 2.
Drove by it today. I went, hey, there's that place. Like we walked on foot by it when we came down here the other day.
I got
and
married
I didn't
on
even
the
notice it
corner
was
of
there.
the street, so I always go, hey, I've been on top of that.
It's always a sentimental place in Jeremy's heart. The best balls on Cox down here at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, and the reason we keep saying that is because they do balls like nobody else. Bear balls, pulled pork, cornbread, mac and cheese, smushed into a ball, battered and deep fried, and then you serve that with cheese sauce and bacon over the top. It's one of the greatest inventions of all time. They have, for a long time, Bears has had the bowls. There's a Mac Attack that's got pulled pork and mac and cheese in it, and then there's the Bear Bowl that has the cornbread and the mac and cheese and the pulled pork in it, and now they've just created that into a nice little mouth-sized loveliness.
I'm here for it.
So good, so good. We're gonna have to get us some here for the last hour of the program
For sure.
and
like
again,
I
we'll
said,
be
I'm probably going to eat it 2 or 3 times today.
Right.
And they are also catering Guitar Jam tonight.
Yes, and we will be down here again tomorrow afternoon, 12 to 3, hanging out and watching the games. Following the action here, we got Purdue has gone out to a 10-point lead on High Point with under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Really crucial how High Point finishes this half because they do not want to get behind.
No, you never.
That's one of those that, like, from a sheer strategic standpoint, Purdue can just squeeze you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you start falling behind them and you start having to throw up threes, it can get ugly.
Yep, and that's how you shoot yourself out of a chance at a winner.
We have a couple of super chats too.
All right, let's hit a super chat here, Colby.
Yeah.
All right. First super chat you see.
Oh, you're.
My computer's skipping on me here.
The Soaring Eagle, I believe, was the first one I saw.
Yeah, Soaring Eagle.
My screen is 8 miles away from me.
Soaring Eagle says, also, when I said sacrificed, so he's talking about going to Belize. He's in Belize for spring break, and earlier in the show he sent the message, said that he was there, and so he was, learning all about Belizean culture, I guess. I don't get if that's the right way to call that. And he's talking about the little game that they used to play where the loser of the game would be sacrificed. He said, when I said sacrificed, I meant the captain was beheaded for the gods. If the Jets did that, then American life expectancy would drop 50 years. Yeah, if you beheaded someone every time the Jets lost a game, sure.
Well, I die a little bit on the inside every time they lose a game.
No.
Does that count?
kind of. I mean, they've been killing their entire fan base for 60 years. So,
hey, we won a Super Bowl in that 60 years. Okay, most of us weren't alive for it, but it happened.
Okay, all right. Did it?
I saw it on
you
VHS.
didn't. No, you didn't. It's been 62 years since you won a championship. They won it 63.
69.
Oh, 69. Okay.
Summer of 69. It's the greatest year ever to be a New York sports fan because you had the Mets and the Jets.
Oh, it's true. It's true. Red Sea with a super chat.
Yeah!
Says Robert Hurricane Hot Rod Robert Tankerus Spencer IV.
That is getting longer on the,
it is.
on the DMV.
It is. As someone who knows UConn, I can promise you that Boston College is better at football than UConn is. Well, yes. There's no question about that. Hell, UConn didn't even have an FBS team until a couple of years ago.
No, they did.
Didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were FCS for a while.
They had the what was his name?
I thought they were like Villanova at one point. They had the FCS football program. Oh, okay.
And then Paul Pasqualoni, or not Paul Pasqualoni, he was at Syracuse.
Yep.
He was at UConn too. But there was Randy Edsel took that program over, and they actually went to the Orange Bowl. It's just hard for them because it's so geographically hard to get football prospects. It's what happens to every football program in the Northeast.
Right.
It's so hard to get prospects up there because you're competing with lacrosse. So we don't have that in the South. We don't compete with the lacrosse.
No.
I mean, some schools have it, but a lot of the lacrosse guys are playing football too. In the Northeast, that's where you're getting the scholarship.
Right. Okay. All right.
And lacrosse season and basketball season are opposite of each other, so that's why the basketball program is they don't struggle as much to find recruits.
Yep. Austin Groves with a question in the YouTube comments says, who wins more, MSU or Michigan? I don't think either wins 2 games. So who goes on the longer run in the tournament? Is it the 2-seed Michigan State, or is it the 5-seed Michigan, who may get upset by UC San Diego tonight?
I'll take San Diego today. So I will say Michigan State de facto. I actually do think Michigan State's going to win a few games.
I would be shocked if they didn't. I'm shocked every time that they don't.
That's one of the things I'm leaning on. The coaches.
Yeah.
If you've got a really elite coach, which look, Tom Izzo Tom Izzo is one of the strangest coaches I think I've ever seen. Because he really only had that one Mateen Cleaves run. Yeah. Other than that, they've largely been an Elite Eight, Final Four team.
Right.
But he gets credit like he's Roy Williams or Mike Krzyzewski.
Because his overall record in March is phenomenal. Or at least it used to be. I haven't checked up on it in a while. But it was every year. I mean, March is Izzo. That's why they made T-shirts that said that, because it felt like there for a long time, like Michigan State is just unstoppable unless they're playing Carolina in the tournament, and then that doesn't go their way. But if they can get by without playing Carolina in the tournament, they're probably going to win a few games, which was why when I think it was Norfolk State that upset them as a 15 seed. I want to say that was Adrian Payne's senior year. They were supposed to be like, they were a 2 seed. They were one of the best teams in the country. And hell, I think I even had them in the Final Four of that at first game of the tournament, or first day of the tournament. Norfolk State upsets them as a 15 seed, and you're like, okay, well, there goes that bracket.
Who was on that? There was a football player on that team. I can't remember now who it was.
I don't remember.
Oh, they beat Missouri. That wasn't Michigan State. Michigan State lost one of those, but it wasn't the Norfolk State.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember who it was then. Apparently, they did lose one of those 15 seed games.
Oh, that was the team that had Kyle O'Quinn, the guy that played in the NBA for like 20 years and was never good.
I loved him in Star Wars, by the way.
Kylo Quinn?
Kylo Quinn. He was
if
a
I
great
understood
villain.
that reference, it would have been so much funnier.
Kylo Ren.
It was a terrible reference. Tank, go. You don't deserve any bear balls for that. That was awful.
Let's see here. Games going on right now. Oh, it's still 19-point game here.
I feel
with,
like Louisville,
with Creighton on top of Louisville.
We were misseeded. It's not aging well.
It's not. It's not. Much like that Carolina didn't deserve to be in the tournament thing. That didn't age well either.
This is just a PSA. For any of you that say I'm a Carolina homer, that when they got in the tournament over West Virginia, I'm going to need you to check that bio, bro.
Right.
I only said that like 40 times on social media over the course of 3 days.
Right. Third game of the tournament day is underway. Montana, the Grizzlies, the 14 seed, taking on Wisconsin as well. So we're following that action down here at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville on Cox Avenue. Come on by, get some bear balls. They got beers on tap. They've got all of the meat that you can handle. The official barbecue of the Sportsocracy, and we will be back here on ESPN Asheville after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN.
That was awful, Tank. That was terrible.
Asheville, most of the rain.
Kylo Ren is horrible.
And some chill.
Did you guys know that the game that he's talking about was the ancient precursor to lacrosse? They hit a tiny ball through a stone hole.
Winds have us under.
It's freaking awesome.
Sunshine.
I'd much rather watch that than actual lacrosse.
Sunny and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist.
Also, fun fact, Tank: the Navajo will let you smoke ayahuasca with them on the in the sweat lodge if you do a journalistic piece on it.
Even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
This is a Medical Minute, brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center. Did you know that what you eat can impact your risk for colorectal cancer? March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Join Haywood Regional Medical Center on March 19th for a special Lunch and Learn event where our experts will break down the powerful connection between nutrition and colorectal health. You'll learn how a simple diet change can help with prevention, plus get practical tips for making better food choices. And the best part? You'll get to enjoy a free lunch while taking steps towards a healthier future. Seats are limited, so don't wait. Reserve your spot today by calling Lily Ferguson at 770-776-7291. That's 770-776-7291. Or go to myhaywoodregional.com/news to find out more. That's March 19th, the Lunch and Learn at Haywood Regional, because your health starts with the choices that you make. You've been listening to a Medical Minute.
You guys suck. You're making me hungry over here.
I heard of.
This is the one app you need.
Love my presets. The preset feature is dynamite.
Oh my God.
Tell my friends about it. They're on the app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about. And free app.
The 99.9 Kiss Country presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99KissCountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets.
Sell or invest in real estate in the mountains. You need to call the agents at Carissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online. CarrissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley.
Are we get weird? Are we taking it out?
Rose, Corey and Kristen.
Are we doing get weird or take it out?
In the wake of Hurricane Helene, Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Sportsocracy on
the
ESPN.
Sportsocracy.
Hang on.
Fun there, eh, God?
3, 2, sorry.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy's heard everywhere you go. On the iHeartRadio app, we are live on the scene at the home of the balls. I just had 2 balls in this mouth during the break, and both of them were phenomenal.
If the FCC's listening right now, he's going to elaborate. Just give him a minute.
The bear ball is everything that I wanted it to be and more. The mac and cheese, cornbread, pulled pork, battered, deep fried, covered in cheese sauce, bacon, and Pops put a little of that ghost pepper barbecue sauce on it. Oh, so good.
I mean, look, Bears has tremendous food, but I'm convinced I could put that ghost pepper barbecue sauce on that napkin right there,
yes,
and eat it, and it would still be fantastic.
Yes, it is. It is so tasty, and it goes perfect with a wonderful beverage as well. They got a lot of beers on tap down here at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. But the bear ball and the moink ball, I had a moink ball. I've seen them. That is one of the greatest things. It's a meatball wrapped in like bacon that's got like that spicy bacon sugar stuff on it. Oh, you put some of that ghost pepper sauce on that. That's going to do me just fine.
You know, we do have to tell them though that treating us this nicely, this is not the way to get us to leave.
She just brought us in 2 big plates.
It just looks like pure happiness.
Mac and cheese, pulled pork, and some moink balls. I'm all the way in.
You know, they keep saying they like having us here, and I hope that's true. This is not how you get us.
They're going to have to get used to it because
we're used to iHeart Asheville, where our accompaniment is a water bottle that's never been put in a refrigerator.
Yep.
And maybe they left us some fruit from the meeting this morning.
Or one of those Belvita cookie things from the flood.
One of my favorite games to play is, hey, they had a sales meeting a week and a half ago. Is the fruit they've left in that refrigerator actually alcoholic at this point or not?
Right. While we were doing our flood coverage, somebody brought us like 2 giant boxes, industrial-sized boxes of those Belvita cookies, like the blueberry cookies, and there's cinnamon cookies as well. I love those things so much, but I can't eat them by myself. There's still like half the boxes are left in there because I'm the only one that eats them.
Somebody brought us a case of honey buns during that too, and I'm pretty sure
that didn't last.
If we did the math on how many of those Jeremy ate versus the rest of the staff combined, I think I would beat you.
Yes, I probably so. You did the same thing with the Arby's sandwiches that they brought up.
Oh, I don't mess around. Arby's infuriates me. Stop advertising the weird fish sandwich. Stop that. You
the one thing we didn't need from a roast beef restaurant was fish.
I can't do
Of course, my father has had it, and he loves it.
I can't do fast food fish. Long John Silver's. Hashtag Mark safe for Long John Silver's.
Don't do that. You're going to cause a fist fight in here. Bob's going to start. He's going to get on this mic, and he's going to start waxing poetic about the wonderful
I only ate it
adventures
one time
of Long John Silver's.
And I vowed never again. It was like the one time I ate kale. Nope, I will never do that again.
Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville. It is some of the best meat that you will ever have, and they get creative in the kitchen. And you gotta try some of these balls.
Well, I mean, it's one of the things Tank and I've always been proud of is that as we own our little entity here, it's just the 2 of us. Yes, we are slotty, like Patriot wide receivers, but we only endorse people that we believe in. We believed in the food, then we met the people, and the people are every bit as good, if not better, than the food.
Absolutely.
Which is saying a lot. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you're about to see how much I like the food the next break, because I'm going to do something to that could be categorized as incredibly gross.
Yeah, yes.
Because it's going to get slathered with that sauce, and it's going to just get devoured.
13 minutes and a half to go in the Creighton-Louisville game. It is a 18-point lead for Creighton, 64-46 over the Louisville Cardinals.
They just can't play defense. Mm-hmm. Louisville has it's on the screen behind your head, so I can see it every time that I'm actually talking directly to you. Every time I look up, Louisville has a great offensive set, and then they come down on defense and they either foul immediately Or they just completely forget about the fifth player on the floor.
Go, oh, there goes that guy.
Oh, there's that guy. Hey, whose guy was that? That was somebody raise your hand and say that one was mine.
10-point lead for the Purdue Boilermakers over the Big South champion High Point Panthers, 37-27 at the half. Still early stages of that Wisconsin-Montana game. It's 9-5. Badgers on top of the Grizzlies. 9-7. Badgers on top of the Grizzlies. What's going on in the NFL today? I haven't really had my finger on the pulse of the league so far today. Is there any breaking news? Did we find out where Aaron Rodgers is going?
Oh, no, we started lying season, though.
Oh, good Lord.
We started lying season. It is official. Outside of the succulent morsels that come out of the mouth of your mullet king, you should believe nothing that anyone says from this point on because they are all lying to you.
Okay. For example?
Jackson Dart. If you start seeing him in the top 3, they're lying to you. Do not believe that. I am borderline Jackson Dart's agent. And even I'm sitting here going, could we stop that, please? Because if you take him over Travis Hunter, you need to have your head examined.
Mm-hmm.
Abdul Carter, PFF just did a mock draft. Abdul Carter fell to the Jets.
Whoa.
Tank, let me make this perfectly clear. We will be at the draft in Green Bay. If that happens, I'm gonna give you a phone number. It's the burner bat phone, and I need you to call my wife to open up the bail fund because there's gonna be a naked mulleted guy in Green Bay that is just going running around like a chicken with his head cut off. If Abdul Carter fell to the Jets at 7. I don't think I could contain the elation in the building.
And only from you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and people are going to look around and go, hey, why are you so excited about a logo that you're not wearing? I need you to explain that because I'm confused. That team doesn't pick for a while. Why are you so excited about what they're doing?
They will know by that point. Yeah, falling down to 7 in the draft. Abdul Carter. Here's another one I'm looking at. They did the same thing. Ashton Gianti goes before Abdul Carter. I can't see that.
Let me make this as perfectly clear as I can. Abdul Carter could cut his foot off with a hacksaw tomorrow, and he would still go before pick 7. They could give him one of those Oscar Pistorius fitted things, and he would still go ahead of 7.
Can we call him? Can we call him Tink Tink?
For Cat Williams can. I don't know.
Please.
If you can.
Oh, I'm definitely.
He's out of jail
Tink
now.
Tink.
He might smack you.
Po little Tink Tink.
They're laughing. That's just good for me.
The Gianti thing is he worth a top 10 pick?
No.
Okay.
But
because I've been seeing it
in my lifetime. There's been one running back that was worth a top 10 pick. And just remember, Barry Sanders was before my time. So before you at me, Saquon Barkley's the only one I've ever seen.
The only one?
Only
okay.
one.
Christian McCaffrey wasn't worth a top 10 pick.
Nope.
That's insanity.
It's not, though. Go look at that draft and look at the guys he went over and realize he lasted in Carolina for 5 years, and there's guys that are going to the Hall of Fame that went behind him. Just always remember that. Can't look at the draft in a vacuum and go, oh, yeah, he's a really good running back. Okay, what'd you draft him over?
Uh-huh.
Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson was fantastic. He was also hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be a Hall of Famer. And I don't say that lightly out of running backs because it is hard to make the Hall of Fame at this point as a running back.
Right.
This class, I have 42 draftable running backs.
That's a bunch.
42. You know how many I had last year?
How many?
24. The only reason I remember that is because it's easy to remember because it's the numbers flipped.
Right.
This is the best running back class I've ever seen. And I'm telling you, everybody call me crazy. Y'all called me crazy with Trayvon Walker, too.
Yes.
This Travis Hunter thing to the Raiders is real. I had 3 different listeners message me yesterday and go, hey, will you place this bet? Because I live in a state where I can't. And secret time, I hope the FBI's not listening, but 100% I will. It's not crimes. You can't prove it.
They can now.
That computer's encrypted, bro. I'm up on burners, bro.
So your thought here, the theory being that Las Vegas would trade up to 3 with the Giants.
The Giants don't really want to take Shedeur Sanders at 3. They want him on the roster, but they don't want to take him at 3.
Right.
I went on a rant. I can't even remember what podcast I was on. I went for 20 minutes and nobody else said a word. You would have hated every second of it because it was a glorified TED Talk.
I'm gonna need you to talk for a second because I think I touched my eyeball with that ghost pepper sauce.
I was wondering if you poked yourself in the eye or if you had gotten hot sauce.
I think I got hot sauce in my eye.
I
so
knew
I'm
it
gonna
was
need you
one
to
of
talk
the
for a
two.
second.
I just couldn't figure out which one. Tank's been sitting here blinking at me for 45 seconds.
Yep.
And I couldn't figure out if he needed me to get him a water or if he was telling me he found something in the JFK files. I wasn't sure what the business was. I would totally help you if I had anything other than a monster that you could wipe that eye out with.
You're good. You're good.
The rant that I went on was that you have to remember when it comes to you got to look at every NFL team in a vacuum because they're all different. The Raiders have a head coach that's 73 years old. He ain't here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's here for a good time. And he's trying to prove that his system and what he did was what made Seattle so good. So you're telling me he's going to sit back at 18 and let Teteroa McMillan fall to him? Who, by the way, that's probably not in the range of outcomes anymore after he ran a 4.54. There was a risk he was going to run a 4.7 that started getting talked about at the combine.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't.
No.
He run. I seen him run, and he's run real fast.
Yep.
So he's going to be just fine. So you're telling me that Pete Carroll's going to sit at 6 and take a running back. Do you remember how Marshawn Lynch got to the Seattle Seahawks?
Through a trade with the Bills.
Through a trade with the Bills because they traded a draft pick for him. Because Pete Carroll and the way that offense has always worked, they ask running backs to do a lot of things. And I'm not telling you that Genty, that they could have fallen in love with Genty. Maybe they take Genty at 6. That feels like a media narrative. That Ashton Genty runs hard. And if you close your eyes and squint real hard, he kind of looks like Marshawn Lynch. But he's not, though. Marion Hampton actually makes more sense for what Marshawn Lynch did than Ashton Genty does.
Right.
And so you look at that and you go, all right, so put yourself in the mind of John Spytek and of Pete Carroll. I added a 36-year-old quarterback. I have a 73-year-old head coach that at most has 2 or 3 years as the coach of this team.
Yep.
I have the chance to go get a generational talent that, oh, by the way, would be Richard Sherman on steroids in that system.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me he's going to sit at 6 to take a running back? The Giants might tell him to pound sand because you don't know. The Jets could jump up with Jacksonville. There's a lot of variables here. But if the Giants get a clear feeling that they can drop down to 6 and get Shedeur Sanders, I promise you they're going to do it.
Well, I don't foresee there being a scenario where anyone else jumps in to take him. Because there's to take Shedeur. To take Shedeur. So to me there's little risk if New York wants to move back in the draft a few spots. There's no risk there because Jacksonville's not taking a quarterback.
So I've never actually explained, and I always go back to the Trayvon Walker thing because, and Tank, you can verify this. I have one of these every year. That's just the only one that paid you at plus 3,500 that I said on a podcast that went out across the country and had over 100,000 views. And that's when people went, "Oh, Fat Boy knew something." No, I actually didn't. When I first said it, I didn't know anything. It had been said to me, and then I went, wait a minute. All of those things line up. Everything lines up, and it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doing some digging. And the more digging I found that I did, the more I found out Jacksonville wasn't in love with Aiden Hutchinson. All I did was put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
It's not like I had some inside source in Jacksonville that was telling me we're taking Trayvon Walker. No, a little birdie put something in my ear, and I chased it down the rabbit hole. Tank, you've been in
until that's the only thing that makes sense.
And Tank, you've been in these rooms with me. I'm like a bird dog. If you tell me there's a dead bird over there, I'm gonna go find it. And I don't care how many people I have to annoy to get the truth. And that's what I did there, and that's what I'm doing right now with Travis Hunter. And every person I talk to in the NFL, they keep telling me, I hadn't thought of that, but man, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Of course it does. You know what doesn't make sense? To sit at 6 and go, I'm going to take a running back when there's 41 draftable ones in this class. There's a guy that you can get in the second round. By the way, Seattle has 2 second-round picks. By the way, Seattle has 2 third-round picks. By the way, Seattle has 2 fourth-round picks. That's a team that's always Seattle always prioritized taking players at value positions. Where did that come from? It wasn't just John Schneider. It was Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, who's now running the Raiders.
Yep.
And you're telling me he's going to take a running back at 6. Okay. You might be right. It would be a huge deviation from everything the man's ever done.
It feels to me more like it's a pick of need, right? That's one of the things that I hate the most about drafts, period, is when you have those picks that you're like, I didn't really see it, but we really needed blank.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what mock drafters are doing with Ashton Gianti. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's not worth it. I'm not saying any of those things. All I'm saying is it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me for a team like the Raiders that has several positions where they could fill a bigger need, to me, than taking a running back at 6.
All right. If you don't believe me on Pete Carroll, John Spytek came from your organization.
Yes.
Tank, in the years John Spytek was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how'd you get your running backs? And where did Rashad White come from?
The draft.
Mm-hmm. What round did you take him in?
3rd.
Yep. Bucky Irving, where'd he come from?
Draft.
What round did you take him in? 4th.
4th. Yeah.
Leonard Fournette, who was the starting running back when Spytek got there, hey, where'd you get him? He was a free agent off the trash pile.
Uh-huh.
Now you're telling me a GM that just now finally gets a shot at the big boy chair with Pete Carroll is going to go, yep, my first pick, the one that's going to be tied to me forever, is a running back.
Don't make a lot of sense, does it?
You see how when you sound these things out, it's really easy to go, man, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you break it down.
Yeah. Yep. Lots of things can change before the draft. Ashton Gianti, is he worth a top 10 pick? And talent evaluators say yes. I don't think I've seen very many talent evaluators that have their, top 100 out there or whatever that don't have him up either in the top 10 or close to the top 10. It's just the fact that the lifespan is so short for many running backs in this league.
And when the lifespan's really short? For 5'9" running backs that run like they're 6'2".
Yep.
For guys that want to run through, all I'm telling you is what scouts in the league tell me. Because there's a lot of talk of Ashton Gianti falling to 10 with the Bears, and I think there's a lot of fire there.
Yeah.
The thing I'll caution you of is that I know for a fact that they love Caleb Johnson. They might love Gianti more. I'm living in a vacuum here.
Right.
I know they love Caleb Johnson. I don't know that they love Ashton Gianti. You think they need a running back. This is how a lot of mock drafters work. And I can tell you this from guys that I know in the league that are high-end guys that get millions of views on everything they do. There are times you get to a team and go, there's not a player here that makes logical sense. What's the biggest need? Is there a guy in the pantheon of my big board that fits in here? Cool. Plop him down there and you leave him there. You know what tends to happen? You're wrong.
Tournament day here in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. We're live on location at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue on Cox Avenue in downtown Asheville. We got one more hour to go. We will hopefully see you down here in just a little bit, or tomorrow. We'll be back. Talk some football next.
Ever wake up feeling lazy, knowing something is off with your...
Are you good to go? Will you be good to go if I run to the restroom after this double?
...you what's actually going on inside your body by analyzing your gut microbiome.
Say what?
And that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop.
All right.
Viome.com for a personalized gut professional now.
I'm gonna run to the restroom after this double, Tankerous.
Or 88 to receive a link to the offer.
So if there's a super chat, can you do the whatever you need to do?
Our fans,
or whatever.
Play. You love seeing the dunks, alley-oops, long shots, trick shots, the buzzer beaters, and all the cool tricks. And we can't wait to bring all our history and all the laughs. We're coming to Harris Cherokee Center on March 21st. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. You cannot miss this. The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour presented by Jersey Mike Subs is here, and you can save big. Use code DRIBBLE to get 30% off select tickets for a limited time. Don't miss out on all the fun, dunks, jaw-dropping what just happened moments before the tour is over. Get tickets at harlemglobetrotters.com. Additional fees and restrictions may apply. Valid on select seats. Code is available for limited time only. Offer only valid until 7 days before game day.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013. Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville is back. Join us on the 29th at Bears on the South Slope for a lighthearted rage-releasing benefit party appropriately named To Hell with Helene. We'll exercise some demons together. A little axe throwing, a pie eating contest, mechanical bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say To Hell with Helene with us at Bear's Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
Join us this March 29th for an evening that blends exceptional music with heartfelt support for Catamount student athletes. Nashville songwriters in concert at WCU Ramsey Center, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Reserve individual seats starting at just $200 with dinner and drinks included. Or grab a general admission ticket for $65 and enjoy the show. Visit KalohiCollective.com or call 828-227-2401 to get your tickets today. Music, food, and a great cause. Don't miss this unforgettable event.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty good cold front marching through Asheville. Most of the rains are now well to the east of us, and some chilly numbers next several nights rolling our way. We're down to 29 degrees tonight. It's a good 10 degrees colder than average for us. Sunshine Friday, high near 60. Breezy northwest winds have us under a wind advisory. Sunshine Saturday, 65 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Listeners are always asking about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Trouble sleeping, walking day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step.
All right, 30 seconds, Tank. I'm going to... 30 seconds. I'm going to run to the restroom after this. I'll be back before the next break.
ESPN Asheville, your number one preset. The new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview. WMXF Waynesville. W225.
All right, open.
Live from the Ingalls.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
All right. 3, 2.
We are at the official barbecue home of the Sportsocracy, Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville on the South Slope, 135 Cox Avenue. Enjoying just some of the best meat you'll ever have. That brisket mac and cheese that they brought us is phenomenal.
I still actually actively had a mouthful of macaroni and cheese when my mic turned back on.
Yes, everybody in the YouTube heard you. I just want to sit back and eat this. Nope, we got some radio to do, but we'll have another commercial break coming up here in a minute. You can feed your face. You want to feed your face, you can come on down to Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, 135 Cox Avenue downtown. That's where we are. They also have a second location over on Sweeten Creek Road inside Sweeten Creek Brewing. It's kind of off the beaten path there on Sweeten Creek. It's a very nice place. The brewery has like a little park outside where the kids can play, and you can have they've got the Sweeten Creek Brew here on tap at the downtown location as well. It's just a wonderful partnership.
I fully plan on having one of those as well.
Yes.
Tanks told me I'm not allowed to drink while I'm on the radio. It's like some FCC regulation. How would they know, Tank?
That's right. If the chairman of the FCC is listening right now, I have never, ever advocated for that.
I sound like I'm 8 beers deep on a regular Tuesday. They wouldn't know. It just steers more into himself.
That's right. His hands stay stiller when he is a little tooted up. We got a 12-point lead right now in the Creighton Louisville game in the NCAA tournament. 4:41. 4:41 to go. I don't know. I mean, hell, it was a 20-point game 7 minutes ago, so maybe Louisville's going to make a run here. Who knows? High Point and Purdue also in action at the moment, and
High Point's dwindled it to 6.
The score is 45-39. 14:45 early in the second half. Purdue with just a 6-point lead on the Panthers. Meanwhile, Wisconsin with a 7-point lead on 14th-seeded Montana. They're still in the first half, and just getting underway is Houston and SIU Edwardsville.
Houston and the Pig College.
The Pig College? Is that what they do? Gotcha. I was like, is this like the NC State Cow College thing?
No.
Do they have a big ag program?
It's the only way I can remember what they are.
Gotcha. SIUE. And Houston right now just getting underway early going of that game. It's 4 apiece. Oh, Jeremy, when you look at the early draft, the draft prognostications, I know you've done probably many of these on your own.
So 4-round team mock drafts coming out on the YouTube channel right now.
See, there you go.
We're to the Dolphins and the Cowboys, which means the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Seahawks. I keep forgetting who's at 17. I can almost do the draft order in my head.
Bengals.
Oh, yeah, they're the one that infuriates me because I keep coming to them going, hey, there's no player here that I love for you.
Yeah.
And you're notorious for taking guys about 15 spots too high, so which one are you going to do that with this year?
Goes Bengals, Seahawks, Bucks at 19. Denver at 20.
Now, Denver, on the other hand, I feel like you don't have to do anything but sit there and don't screw this up.
Okay. And what's not screwing it up?
Colston Loveland's not screwing it up.
Okay.
Any of the corners is not screwing it up. Basically, anybody that falls in your lap. I feel the same way about your Bucks. Hey, just sit there and take the best player on your board. That's all you have to do.
I would love to have an edge rusher. I would love to have a corner.
We don't have Joe Tryon showing anymore, so I don't have a reason to make fun of your pass rush anymore.
Well, good.
Can I officially get a Jeremy? You were right on Joe Tryon.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You were right on him.
That was one that
you're
Tank
not going to like how that
excited
goes.
about, and I pooed on it like instantly.
Well, I mean,
and I remember the look on his face of, man, I want you to be wrong.
I do.
But I don't think you are.
Well, I mean, that was one of those. He had good tape in college, and it just never happened. He had flashes, but never became the guy. And then they followed it up with, you took Yaya Diaby, and now Yaya's become a good pass rusher. You took Kalijah Cansey. I feel like Kalijah's stepping on that door of being good. And now you've got Hassan.
He's good at, yes.
Yeah, and you've got Hassan Reddick to throw in there now. Like that's not necessarily the position of need that it was 2 years ago.
No, one of the things that, and I've always used this as a dirty little secret of mine when I do mock drafts. Look at where teams spend their money. That's telling you something.
Yeah.
Where teams spend their money is where they don't want to invest in the draft because they don't like the value. No, that only works for the first 2-3 rounds, but it does work for the first 2 or 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tampa Bay adds Hassan Reddick. That probably means they don't love the pass rushers. And the way I look at the way it breaks down for you, there's probably not going to be one there that doesn't have a big fatal flaw.
Well, you have to pick a little higher to get those guys. I mean, how many of those guys are there in this draft?
James Pierce,
of
which some people would say his fatal flaw is he's too thin. Mike Green's got some off-the-field stuff. I mean, obviously, Abdul Carter will be long gone. Jalen Walker, I don't really know what position you play. I always hate when I'm going to write a book one day of all of my draft rules.
Okay.
And one of my draft rules is if I have to create a position for you to play, which is you play off-ball linebacker on the first 2 downs, and then I bring you in as a situational pass rusher on 3rd down, that's probably not going to work. Because if it did, I would have somebody over the course of time where I've gone, yeah, that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about Jahad Campbell playing as an off-ball and then playing as an edge. Or, hear me out here, he's just an edge. It's hard to learn one position in the NFL. Now you're telling me a kid that I don't like his fit at any one position, he's going to have to learn 2? I'm good. I'll pass.
But that's not the same for Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter already knows how to play receiver and corner. And he did it at a high level. We're creating some mutant position for Jalen Walker just to convince ourselves that this really athletic kid is going to fit in this hole that I've never actually seen him fit in. That's what scares me. And I'm going to call it the Joe Tryon show anchor rule.
Yeah.
Because he was the first one they tried to do that with.
Well,
if you remember when Tampa Bay drafted him, the intention was he was going to play on the inside and then step out on the outside in pass rushing situations.
Yes.
How'd that work out? What did they figure out real early? Oh, he can't play off the ball. He has to be an edge. So then they committed to that. If you had just drafted him as an edge, you'd take him in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
You took him in the 1st.
Yep.
Because you thought he could do both.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
Don't do Logan Hall next. I can't take much more disappointment today.
Yeah.
Hasn't been the greatest track record
I don't
for us
feel
in the
like
first
you
round.
used him correctly. He's one of those guys that, like, if I was an NFL GM, I'd be looking at my guys going, hey, we think we can get him for it.
Yeah.
Because I want to play him as just a pass rushing defensive tackle instead of that 3-4 end role.
Mm-hmm.
I want an NFL team to hire me. Just hire me as your GM and let me do good stuff for you. I mean, you're going to take it on the chin of they hired a radio guy to be there. Give me a few years. You give me that first 3 years, I think at the end of it, you'll look at it and go, we're happy we did that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Texans made a couple of moves. Cam Robinson is now their left tackle, so you went Laramie Tunsil to Cam Robinson.
Which would be...
I don't feel like you got the better of that deal.
No, that would be like me having this amazing platter of mac and cheese and brisket and bear balls.
Uh-huh.
And then my dinner is a can of Purina dog food. That's the progression you went there.
Yeah, it's not good.
I love this thought that Cam Robinson I've now seen Minnesota do it and Houston do it. Have you not ever watched him play? Like, am I the only one that's watched a tape on him ever and gone, he's not what you think he is? But that's what desperate teams do. Mm-hmm. Desperate teams get desperate.
Well, you have to have, because you have to have one, right? Yeah, I have to have a left tackle. I want to have one that I believe in, the one that I can trust. Problem is, there's not that many guys in the NFL, right? And once a team has him, you're going to have no shot at getting him. Because once you find that cornerstone guy, there's no amount of money that you could give to get that guy in most situations. You might be able to luck up and get somebody to trade you one, like Laramie Tunsil, years after he's been in the league. And, I mean, Laramie's got – how old is Laramie Tunsil?
31.
31, okay. So –
he was a young draft pick.
So he's got 4 or 5 years left, at least.
Maybe.
At least.
He doesn't move like Trent Williams, but, I mean, he can be a starting level tackle for an extended period of time.
Right.
Cam Robinson, Houston's just one of those teams I look at and go, what are you doing? You gave Danielle Hunter. Did you see the 1-year deal he just got?
I was getting ready to say
$35 million for a year for Danielle Hunter?
$35.6 million.
Okay. You're doing stuff.
That's a lot of money to give to a guy he's only been that level one time.
Gigi Gambling said my reference would have been off-brand SpaghettiOs instead of cat food, but cat food's good too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat off-brand SpaghettiOs.
Cat food.
I don't eat SpaghettiOs actually. Now that I think about that.
No, why would you do that
to
yourself?
When I also don't smoke crumbs, so I don't begrudge anybody that does.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a crimes food.
SpaghettiOs?
Oh, yeah. It's simple. Just don't heat it up in the can in the microwave. Or
okay.
Actually,
I guess so.
It'd be kind of funny. Don't do that. It'd be funny for me watching from
from somebody else's house. But not your own. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like my microwave too much for that.
Yeah. Red Sea's got another super chat here. Yeah! Says that line of thinking makes me petrified for the Cardinals pick. I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but...
what he was talking about was the idea that you're going to come up with some hybrid position.
Well, they've done that in the past.
The thing that would terrify me if I were Red Sea, I just so happen to know how he thinks about his own team. The thing that would terrify me if I were you is that I keep hearing corners attached to them. Which, if you recall, I did tell you that a while back, that they're not as comfortable with the secondary as people seem to be letting on.
Right.
But I don't know. Arizona's one of those hard teams to get a beat on. Nobody has a great... Arizona's a weird team because I never can find anybody that has a really good beat on what they're going to do. Philadelphia is easy. They have like 1,000 podcasters. Mm-hmm. I make 3 text messages and I got a pretty good idea. If I hear it 3 times from 3 people that don't know each other, I believe I'm swimming in the right waters. Baltimore, same way.
Yeah.
When you get to a team like Arizona that I don't know the brain trust all that well. Red Sea said he was referring to the idea of spending on free agents where you don't like in the draft because they spend at D tackle and edge.
Oh.
That is a good point because they did spend aggressively there.
They did, but could the strategy there not also be, I want to get the short-term veteran guy in and draft somebody
Well, except for the fact
him.
you signed Josh Sweat for 4 years and it's guaranteed throughout.
Well, I mean, Josh Sweat doesn't fall into that category for me.
Baron Browning, they committed money to him. Not a ton, but enough to say, yeah, you're probably not drafting a guy at 16. I have a weird feeling that they're either going Kenneth Grant or they're going corner. In my next mock, I think I have them taking Will Johnson.
Okay.
I've done so many mocks, and then what is today? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Monday night, I got asked to do a mock on the fly off the top of my head. And I had to go through 32 picks. teams and players off the top of my head.
I bet that was fun.
It was interesting. I walked away from it and went, I actually like that better than some of the other ones I've done. Maybe I'm just going to start doing that. Like, I'm going to take a piece of paper and start writing it out.
Right. SpaghettiOs is gross. I don't know why we went down that path. Let's not talk about that. That was one of those. I had a bad SpaghettiOs experience once, and after that, you never look at them the same.
We're having a boneless wings conversation in the YouTube chat.
Oh yeah.
Why did boneless wings get so much flack? It's just a chicken nugget. I mean, if you called it a boneless chicken hunk, you would have no reason to hate on it.
Chicken,
it's not a wing.
You could definitely sell chicken chunks.
It's not a wing.
Arby's, your next goal to tick Jeremy off is just start selling chicken chunks.
No, I'm good.
The new Arby's chicken chunk.
Hey, you know what? You take a wing, just cut the wing off the. Actually, you know what? Bears has got me thinking here. You cut the chicken off the bone. You deep fry the wing, cut the chicken off the bone, leave the skin in it. Put it in with mac and cheese, wrap it in cornbread, and then deep fry it. That's not. I want to do that with everything now.
Okay. He just
and then pour bacon and cheese on it.
Yes.
I want to do that with all of my meals from here on out. Combine it with mac and cheese, wrap it in cornbread, deep fry it, throw cheese and bacon on it. Mama Tank said my heart would explode in 4 years. I love that she is such a positive thinker that she doesn't think that's probably going to happen anyway. At the rate that I drink and shocking, it hasn't already happened.
I was thinking she is a little older, and her abilities to tell how long something's going to take might not be great. Her reaction time driving's not great. So the the whole 4 years, I don't think it's going to take that long. I think if you did that, you'd probably die within a few weeks. But
I would be so happy doing it.
That is true. Not a single sad moment would be had.
No.
Going to the grave. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. You want some meat to die for? You can come down here to Bears Smokehouse Barbecue on Cox Avenue in downtown on the South Slope. We're hanging out watching the games. We'll be here tomorrow as well, so come on by and grab you some bear balls. It's telling you, it's one of the greatest inventions that's ever existed. It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning here take
everyone can hear your mother and father, just so you know.
Teamwork. It's great to have.
It's picking it up.
Supply. Our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens.
Yep.
We have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life out here.
From the moment you walk through the doors at Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry, you can see the compassion from the front desk to the hygienist to Dr. Merrill herself. They really take extra effort and extra steps to make sure that you are comfortable through your whole experience. And Dr. Merrill has completed more than 1,000 hours of advanced training in cosmetic, laser, and implant dentistry. She really believes in using the most advanced dental technology and education to provide the best dental care in Asheville. To find out more, head on over to AshevilleSmiles.com.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call StarStar Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
College basketball. Back in the spotlight, March Hoops will have everyone talking.
You think you know what's going to happen, but it never goes as scripted.
Lock in Fox Sports Radio as your number one preset on the iHeartRadio app for the hottest takes.
We're going to have a 72-team tournament in the next couple of years.
And complete tournament coverage. Plus, binge on-demand podcast with The Dan Patrick Show. The Herd with Colin Cowherd. And more. From tip-off to the final buzzer. Search college basketball on the iHeartRadio app to stay in the know.
In the Sportsocracy, we like to make jokes, and we make jokes about doing ball things. Well, no, it's quite...
Tank, there's a Fox Sports Radio promo in this log.
Bread, fried and topped with a cheese sauce and bacon. You can see why they like to talk about their balls so much. And if you like ball things, it's also a great spot to catch the next game. Bears Smokehouse, the official barbecue of the
35 seconds.
Balls today. And join us for the grand...
There is a honest-to-God Fox Radio in promo in this log. I don't know if it's supposed to be in here, but it's in here.
Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supply.
There's a Fox Sports Radio promo that just played in this log.
Spencer, who helped build a bridge.
That's what I mean.
To rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero.
Also, everyone can hear your parents, and they're hilarious. Yeah.
The Parks Promise.
All right, here we go.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
3, 2, go.
Cox Avenue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. I think we should just change that to the official mac and cheese, the official cornbread, the official bear ball.
And Sprite. That's, oh my God, that's like McDonald's Sprite. That is incredible.
He's like, the Sprite just hits different in
Oh,
this
that
place.
Sprite hit me. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. That was like that first time you go to McDonald's when you're 8 and you go, this is like booze almost. That was phenomenal. I'm almost sad I can't be surprised by that again.
I've never seen somebody so excited about a fountain drink
Oh,
before.
dude, no, there are
That's
levels
awesome.
of Sprite.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, and that's as good as it gets. I don't know how people do that. The carbonation and all that to make it hit. And it's like an Andes mint. It's so refreshing at first, and then you get the chocolate, and you're like, oh, I wish the chocolate wasn't here.
Never done that before.
I don't like chocolate.
Yeah.
I got a weird look from your dad. I don't like chocolate.
Never have.
He just said tropical 7-Up. I've never even heard of that.
Tropical 7-Up, yeah. It's not bad.
Does it have pineapple in it?
Yeah, it's like a mango-y.
I like it all.
Yeah, peachy flavored.
I like it all.
Yeah. We are live at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown Asheville. Apparently the official fountain drink as well of the Sportsocracy.
It's the new official home of Sprite in the Sportsocracy as well. I'm going to do it again to see if it's good the second time.
We're hanging out here today and tomorrow, start of the NCAA tournament. Got games on the televisions. The meat is just so damn tasty down here, and their creations are phenomenal. So come on down and get you some balls for your mouth. That's what you need. 10-point lead right now. Creighton on top of Louisville. 1 minute to go in the ball game. Purdue and High Point, that is a 6-point game still. Purdue High Point hanging around against the Boilermakers, 59-53, still 8 minutes to go there.
And Louisville would have had a shot to beat Creighton, except they could not play dead in a cowboy movie on defense.
Mm-hmm. 8-point lead for Wisconsin at the half over Montana in that 3-14 matchup in the East bracket. And second game of the Midwest bracket is underway. Number 1 seed Houston up on SIUE, 30-13.
That was one that you could have told me that was a 45-point spread. I would have taken Houston. That's my rule with if I'm going to take a 1 seed against the 6 team. How bad will the backups beat their starters?
Uh-huh.
And the answer there for Houston is by a lot.
By quite a lot.
Because you need the backups to keep scoring. That's the only way you can cover a first-round number.
Yep.
They have to keep scoring.
Yep. We will have tournament action kicking off tomorrow. I guess I should say tipping off in Raleigh tomorrow. Duke as the number 1 seed in the East. They'll be playing in Raleigh. Found out last night that they get to play Mount St. Mary's in the first round.
Hey, if somebody wants to go to that regional, telling people that they are Robert Spencer and Jeremy Green. Now, it has our pictures, so you're going to have to look like us. You do a pretty big point, but if you want to, we would rather be here at Bear Smokehouse.
Yes, and that is exactly where we will be. High Point has cut it to a 3-point lead for Purdue, 59-56, 7 minutes to go in the ball game. As we look ahead into the crystal ball here, Jeremy, what's the next big domino that's going to fall in the NFL offseason?
Aaron Rodgers signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And is that going to matter to anybody but Steelers fans who hate Aaron Rodgers?
No. I mean, look. They've got to have something at quarterback. We talked about that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but if you look up and down the league right now, there's not a ton of teams that you don't know exactly where they're headed at quarterback.
No. We've hit the point now where we don't have 12 teams anymore that are just, maybe this guy, maybe that guy, 1 year deal here, 1 year deal there. I mean, you reach these kind of lulls in the market of there's only 5 teams that really have a question mark.
The only team in the NFC that still has a question mark at quarterback is the New York Giants. That's it. And I'm 98% sure that's Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC, you still got Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Still got Tennessee.
Yep. Cleveland.
Do you, though?
What's their plan?
Oh, I fully believe Cleveland's going Kenny Pickett.
Not long term.
No, none of it's long term.
That can't be your long term.
Cleveland's not a long term team. Cleveland's going to take the best player that falls on the board to them, or they're going to trade out.
Yep.
If anybody was willing to trade out, it would be the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of where, when you kept saying Las Vegas was going to trade up with New York, I would go Cleveland. I'd be worried that if I'm after Travis Hunter, I'd be worried he's going to come off the board.
Well, that's one of those deals that would happen on the clock.
Yeah.
That's one of those that you're going to see the Giant logo pop up at 3, and then all of a sudden the logo is going to shift on the board while we're sitting there. And you and I are going to start hitting each other going, that's not the same logo it was a minute ago.
We have a trade. We have a trade. But you have teams that are going to have questions. Like, I feel like Miami's headed for a question. I know they just gave Tua money, but is that a long-term fix? Do you feel like that's in a good place right now? Because they go into nightmare territory this year with a iffy season at best. Maybe it's a bad season. And you're not going to have a coach anymore. Right? McDaniel's going to be gone. My best friend's going to get kicked out of South Beach. He's going to have to come up here and hang out with us at Bear Smokehouse.
Is he going to pull the restraining order he has on you?
Yes.
He gave me a manila envelope for you. It's in the truck. I
sent him a nice pair of capri pants for Christmas, and
that might be
I'm
why
back
I
in the
got
good
the
graces.
manila envelope. Did they have a handwritten Hallmark card that said, "Can we be best friends?" Check yes or no.
But Miami could have a question soon. The Jets.
The Jets
you don't
are
have a
1 year
plan.
invested on Justin Fields.
Yep.
By the way, and this is one of those that Soaring Eagle actually mentioned this to me, but I've heard this for weeks. Signing Justin Fields did not take them off Jackson Dart.
It shouldn't. You should be open to all of those opportunities. I mean, just as I said with, just because I spent $14 million or higher on an edge rusher who might have 2 years on that contract, That doesn't mean that's going to take me off of an edge rusher in the draft necessarily.
Well, that's how
especially if I
smart
feel like there's one that's going to, that's going to make an impact.
Well, I mean, that's how smart teams draft. Look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia was never re-signing Josh Sweat. Ever.
No.
You know why? Because they have 3 edge rushers already on the roster, and they're primed to add another one in this draft class.
Yep.
Milton Williams, I don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
I've already got Jalen Carter, who, by the way, if you remember when they drafted him, they didn't need a defensive tackle. They had Fletcher Cox. They were a year ahead on that.
Right.
Still got Jordan Davis. Got Moro Ajomo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I can let you walk. I'll take the compensatory pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to find somebody like Milton Williams a year from now with that comp pick that I got because you gave him $26 million.
Yeah. Unless I have the guy, I'm always searching for the guy. And same thing, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Tennessee. Of course, they're going to draft Cam Ward at 1 this year, so that's going to be off the table for a couple of years until that either works or it doesn't.
I'm getting there. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Las Vegas.
Cam Ward's going 1.
Las Vegas Raiders. That's another one. They're going to have a quarterback question real soon. Geno Smith, much better than what they had, but still that's a 2-year deal at best.
I did have a conversation about the Raiders a few days ago that said that it was basically Geno Smith trading for him by himself does not take them out of Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the Raiders and Shedeur Sanders is that they're uncomfortable with taking him at 6. Not uncomfortable with taking him in the first round. Mm-hmm. They're uncomfortable taking him at 6.
Yes. And you should be. I feel like you should be uncomfortable drafting a quarterback that high to sit in. It's just not done. Right? We very rarely ever see that done.
Kansas City took Pat Mahomes at 10, traded up to do it, and he didn't play a meaningful snap the entire year.
And there are very few teams that can get away with that.
Why? What are they worried about getting away with? What you just said is the reason that there's so many bum franchises in the NFL. Because you have guys that are worried about getting fired. Oh, I can't wait a year.
Yes.
Then why are you still employed?
Mm-hmm.
If a guy's got 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on, this is what I would say to the Giants. All right, you didn't fire Brian Daboll. You didn't fire Joe Shane. Why? Because you were afraid that it was a complete rebuild for the next guy. Well, it's a complete rebuild for the 2 guys that you're asking to do it now. You're just stalling a year.
Mm-hmm. But then if they're not around long enough, then you have the whole, well, other coaches are not going to want to play for you if you're not going to give them the opportunity. And cutting loose Brian Daboll 2 years after he wins Coach of the Year, you can't do that.
Brian Daboll
It's hard playing that it's not the narrative game. It's the perception game. The perception will be that you're a dumpster fire if you do this. Well, you're a dumpster fire anyway.
For sure. And then you just kind of start circling the drain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the Giants are.
You keep reaching, you keep swinging, and sometimes you can hit. Sometimes you can hit a C.J. Stroud in the draft or something.
Well, if you
but
remember,
the Giants.
we talk about that way. Nick Caserio had 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel.
Sure he did.
And he just swung.
Uh-huh.
He took that draft pick from
Arizona.
No, he traded with Arizona. He took that draft pick he got for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yeah.
And parlayed that into one big asset.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never really understand why more teams don't do that, especially bad drafting teams. Like teams that really, and it's always funny to me when I watch people do PFF mock drafts. So, they take the little screenshot of this is what my draft looks like. Every little amateur GM has 5 trades. Every time. Well, I traded back 4 times. Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? You're just shooting blindly into the dark. The Texans roster was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They took 2 big swings and hit on both. And they got a quarterback for the future and an edge rusher for the future. That's more the way to go. If you're a bad drafting team, it's a lot easier to hit on 1 guy than it is to hit on 6. Especially when I have my choice of everybody versus my choice of what's left on the board.
Yeah. In the YouTube comments here, Kelvin Joyner had a question. Says, you think that we'll see more New York quarterbacks get good once they get out of New York this year?
It's a specific kind of quarterback that can work in New York. It's the reason I've said I like Shedeur better in New York than I like him anywhere else. Because I know he can handle it. I've watched him deal with the media.
Mm-hmm.
That part's not going to rattle him. The thing that could be a little concerning is, can he actually play? And I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Stephen Tao says, if you need a guy, take the guy. Why be like, oh, we can't take him at 6? You're going to take somebody else that you don't want and lose the guy that you do want.
No, you're looking at that too literally. So you take a quarterback at 6, and 2 years from now he's not ready to play, fired.
Yep.
It's just the way the league works. The thing with Shedeur is that I think the Raiders would want to have that 5th-year option, but he's not the 6th best talent. They're not taking somebody they don't want. They're taking somebody they want more than Shedeur. I guess that's where I didn't say that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
They want him, just they want him on their terms at the appropriate value.
Right.
All right, I'll give you an example. Name a player in this first round that I don't like.
That you don't like? Oh,
Michael Williams.
Yeah, there you go.
Michael Williams, probably the best example.
There you go.
I do not like him as a prospect.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take him in the first round under any stretch of the imagination. If I'm picking at 90 and he's still sitting there, all of a sudden I like Michael Williams.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about value.
Everybody's got a price.
Everybody has a price. And see, that's the difference of the draft from free agency. The price is not money. The price is capital. And the capital is the lifeblood of my team. So I start wasting capital, I can't keep my team alive.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We are live downtown Asheville, Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. We will be right back.
Clear. This is your you want me to kill Chainsaw Brothers or Guitar Jam since we're running a little short on time?
The rains are now well to the east.
Okay.
And some chilly numbers next several nights rolling our way. We're down to
are we no crimes today or crimes?
Than average for Sunshine Friday. 60.
Hey, what now?
Easy northwest winds have us under a wind.
Okay.
Sunshine Saturday, 65 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
10-4.
Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards celebrated the music and artists you've loved listening to all year on iHeartRadio. Brought to you by Jeep.
It's now streaming on Hulu for a limited time.
Bad Bunny,
Billie Eilish,
Glorilla,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly,
your host, LL Cool J,
plus Lady Gaga,
Mariah Carey,
Gracie Abrams,
and iHeartRadio's Tour of the Century Award, honoring Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Streaming now on Hulu.
The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour is here, and we're loving hearing from our fans that you love seeing us play. You love seeing the dunks, alley-oops, long shots, trick shots, the buzzer beaters, and all the cool tricks. And we can't wait to bring all our history and all the laughs. We're coming to Harris Cherokee Center on March 21st. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for tickets to the 2025 World Tour, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. You cannot miss this. The Harlem Globetrotters 2025 World Tour presented by Jersey Mike Subs is here, and you can save big. Use code DRIBBLE to get 30% off select tickets for a limited time. Don't miss out on all the fun, dunks, jaw-dropping what just happened moments before the tour is over. Get tickets at HarlemGlobetrotters.com. Additional fees and restrictions may apply. Valid on select seats. Code is available for limited time only. Offer only valid until 7 days before game day.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app yet?
I have this go-to playlist. Boom, made it a preset.
It's like the only app you need.
The #1 radio app. Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles is coming March 20th at the Orange Peel.
With a fantastic lineup of country music. It's going to be an amazing night, y'all.
Craig Campbell, Kelsey Hart, Bryce Leatherwood, Dylan Schneider, and Megan Patrick, plus a pre-show performance from Joe Lasher and Caitlin Baker.
Tickets are just $15 with a portion of the proceeds going to Valley Strong Disaster Relief.
You can get your tickets right now at 99kisscountry.com.
The 99.9 Kiss Country Guitar Jam presented by Ingles. Get your tickets today.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
3, 2, Cartman, hell yeah, go.
Pulled pork. We've had.
I was
bear
late
bowl.
hitting the button for YouTube because I was still having it. You said we're coming back. I went, that's plenty of time for this last bite until I lost a piece of brisket in the sauce cup. And I had to do the fat guy like spatula ice cream thing to get it out.
That was always that's always the best part when you go, hey, Jeremy, we're coming back. We got 10 seconds. Okay. Well, we got 2 seconds now, and you're still shoving your face full. So
yeah, you didn't
stop?
actually. So that was 9 seconds ago, and you haven't actually made a movement towards getting closer to a microphone. So
could you hurry? Could you hurry up? Oh man, Keza and the High Point Panthers are really trying. They're really trying to pull this upset off. Under 2.5 minutes to go in the game. It is single digits though. It's a 9-point game. Purdue's up 67-58. Still looking for the first real upset of the tournament here. But I have my doubts. I have my doubts. Wisconsin with a 7-point lead on Montana early in the second half, and we're about at halftime, under 3 minutes to go before halftime, and Houston has doubled up SIUE.
yeah, SIUE is. I believe that Bet Pig's starting to turn.
Well, I mean it's kind of how you expect all of these 1-16 games to go. You very rarely ever get a competitive 1-16 game.
I do love how you set the televisions up in here, though. Are we really sure you're actually a draft prospect combine is on the television that I can see? So I've been watching 40 times going, why did I not go to this? And then after about 50 names, I went, I haven't seen a draftable name yet. So that's why.
At the Big 12 Pro Day?
Yeah. At the, I do love that the Big 12 does that, though.
I didn't know conferences did that.
They're the only one that does it, I think.
Okay. Because, I mean, I know most of the schools just have their own pro day. I don't know that I remember ever seeing a conference pro
Well,
day
you also
like
have to
that.
remember the pro days. People like me put very little stock in the pro days.
Mm-hmm.
I had somebody that I am friends with that was at the Arizona pro day, which is why I feel confident with Pat McMillan's speed.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama posted Jalen Milrose 40 with the actual clock. That's the reason that I'm confident in his.
Right.
Some of these are like the Zapruder film of, well, our guy ran a 4.06. You got tape of that? You're going to take my word for it. I don't.
It's like the Bo Jackson 4.2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders once ran a 3.9. Cool. Did anybody see it?
Mm-mm.
Nope. You're just going to take my – I fell for that. Snipe hunting 3 times. Not doing it.
All right. Any other? Were there any other headlines in the NFL today? I didn't see any. Restructured Debo's deal.
Oh, you knew that was coming.
Yeah. Well, they restructured and gave him more guaranteed money. So $17 million in guaranteed money for his contract this year. $3 million worth of incentives.
Woo!
And I'm excited. I think every Commanders fan has to be on the edge of their seat wondering, how good can this get?
I can tell you,
because
as a guy that I have some very close friends now that are with the Commanders.
Right.
I can tell you the excitement level is it's real high.
Real high, yeah.
As well it should be.
Mm-hmm. You have surpassed all expectations in year one, which does give me a little pause that there's very little other than being greater than he was this year that is not going to be a disappointment to people.
With Jaden?
Yeah.
Jaden is, I feel like what's coming, and I could be wrong, but I doubt it. What's coming is people are going to get really sensitive to what happened with C.J. Stroud. I bought into it with him, so I'm not going to buy into it with Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch the tape, there's a difference. From just our conversations about football, because we talk about football more than we talk about anything else.
Right.
Even whether there's a mic on or not. I had reservations about CJ even after that first year. There's some of these things that it's just like Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
You watch the tape on him and go,
why did that work?
But eventually the hype got so high on CJ that I went, okay, this is in my head. It was in my head when I watched him in college. It was in my head with the first year. Then he came out in the second year, and everything that I had been worried about was exactly what he had an issue with.
Yep.
I don't have any of those reservations with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels showed me in college exactly what he was. Then he comes to Washington. He showed me exactly the same thing that he showed at LSU and at Arizona State, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a fall-off. I don't see how a fall-off can happen. Is there a possibility he stagnates? Maybe, because he was an older prospect coming into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look for that. I mean, look, there's a reason that that Washington's a really easy team. By the way, I will be on their podcast again. I think it's Tuesday of next week.
Nice.
Talking with Logan Paulson about quarterbacks and tight ends. Two former tight ends talking about tight ends. Let's go.
There you go.
What up?
Mr. Tight End Whisperer.
You want a tight end eccentric episode? Only two guys in media, by the way, that could do an hour and a half podcast and talk for an hour and 10 minutes about tight ends and 20 minutes about quarterbacks.
Yes.
We did that. I saw us do that.
We did that quite a bit.
And then we laughed about it. Like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. We talked about the important position more. Yeah. And Washington already has a quarterback. It is a Commanders podcast.
Yes. Stephon Diggs making the visit up to the New England Patriots. You like that fit? I feel like that'd be a hell of a weapon for Drake.
I don't.
Really?
No.
Why?
I hate that
because
fit.
of the attitude. Is
Yeah.
that what it is? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's gonna
Drake's
get on.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Not
He's
between the ears, and that's not a shot at Drake May. I love Drake May. I actually liked him better as a prospect coming out than I liked CJ Stroud.
right.
I've seen Drake fall in love with receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And I fear that would happen with a Stephon Diggs. If he's got somebody in his ear that has been known to do that with quarterbacks. That's that struck me as Diggs is looking for a big payday and New England's the team with money.
Mm-hmm.
I like Diggs with Kansas City. That's always been the spot that made the most sense. Because Pat Mahomes will tell him where to go and how to get there, and the directions will be down till it gets hot. If he starts chirping at him, I like that fit.
He could, a guy like Stephon Diggs could definitely toy with the brain of a young quarterback.
For sure.
Like
and
Drake
look,
May.
Drake's still
So,
a young kid.
Yeah.
Young kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's not. I'm not fond of that.
Right. Now the whole falling in love with a receiver thing. I mean, isn't that just more of Well, he didn't have much to work with that last year in Carolina, so I really only had one receiver to throw to.
Well, he had one better receiver. There were times he only had eyes for Josh Downs.
Yes.
And that does worry me. It also worries me that Stephon Diggs is a slot and Josh Downs is a slot.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the worst decisions that Drake made at Carolina were trying to force feed the ball to Josh Downs.
Yep.
I don't hate the schematic fit. I hate the personality fit.
All right, tonight in the NCAA tournament, the first round of the men's action. Looking for upsets tonight. You've already said UC San Diego. You think that they're going to get it done?
I do.
Okay, against Michigan tonight.
I don't think Michigan's very good. I haven't thought Michigan was very good all year long. I think they have pieces. They have a gigantic human down low whose name is eluding me. I don't care. UC San Diego's fun to watch. That's another team kind of like I was talking about earlier with St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And only been in D1 college basketball for what?
A year, right? 2 years.
Well, now they had to play out the we're not allowed in the tournament.
Ah, yes. So
I think this is like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're
4 years. This is the first year of eligibility for the tournament.
Yeah, it's first year of eligibility for the tournament. Thank you, Colby, for that. McNeese State, Will Wade. He is taking the NC State job. We haven't talked about that today.
Did you have a problem with that?
I do not have a problem with that
either,
at all.
I think it's insane that other people do.
I mean, what do you? Of course, he's had discussions with them. Of course, he's not going to stay at McNeese State after back-to-back years.
No, it's not McNeese State. They dropped the state. It's just McNeese.
Oh, did they? Oh, well.
I got yelled at that. I got yelled at over that on another show earlier this week. Some fan was like, "We dropped state. We're just McNeese now." I don't care. Bowling
exactly.
Green dropped Green State 25 years ago. When you see their acronym in the little score bug, it's still BGSU.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You're relevant for 14 minutes every 3 years. Calm down.
You're only relevant because a coach who once got caught up in a federal wiretapping scandal had to take a job in college basketball, and you were the one that gave it to him. That's the only relevance that McNeese has.
I love that Will Wade got out in front of him and said, "Everybody, look, I'm not even a college basketball guy." And I saw former boss man Brian Hall at the Ingles SoCon basketball championships at the Cherokee Asheville.
Yep.
Harris Cherokee
That
Center,
place.
Asheville. That's the words. I had all the words right. They were in the wrong order. And he asked me who was taking the NC State job, and I said, "This is the worst kept secret in the world. It's Will Wade."
It's Will Wade.
His players know that.
Mm-hmm.
His players are looking at the transfer portal and trying to get out of here. I don't really have any loyalty to you. You don't have any to me. But as a man, I stood up in front of the room and said, "Yeah, I'm taking the NC State job."
Yep.
It doesn't change anything about the run. We're still going to go out there and play as hard as we can to beat Clemson.
Absolutely. We still have a job to do. We still have a game to play. But after that game is over, if we lose, the party's over for me.
Yep.
And you all knew it was coming when you hired me.
Yep.
I did exactly what I came here to do. I put your program back on the map, however small that map may be, at McNeese State. But still, I got you a couple of tournament appearances. I got you a couple of championships in the conference. I've done what I need to do. Now it's time to move on. I mean, this guy was climbing the ladder before all of the shenanigans happened with the pay-for-play scandal. He got wrapped up into that. There was not much that you could do at that point. LSU gets sanctioned. He goes away, and now he's built his brand back up enough to where a team or a school like NC State goes, "You know what? That's worth it. That's worth it for us. That's the best thing. That's the best name that we're going to get."
And, yeah, NC State should be stoked.
Yeah, absolutely, because
everything
everybody else in the conference is scared.
Oh yeah, because everything he got in trouble for, it's all legal now.
Exactly.
Nobody cares.
Exactly. Nobody plays the game like Will, and he's playing it once again.
Yeah, he's got a
in the
10-year leg up
ACC.
on you. He was doing it before it was legal.
That's right. We are live here at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville on the South Slope, 135 Cox Avenue. We will be back here tomorrow from 12 to 3 as well, so you are more than welcome to come on by and hang out with us. Come on by anytime to Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to try the bear balls. Yes, they are every bit as good as they sound, with the cornbread and the mac and cheese and the pulled pork, deep fried, covered in cheese and bacon. Oh man, so good! I'm about to
It's
have
like 5 awesome things wrapped in cornbread, deep fried.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It's awesome. I think we should do it with more. Can we deep fry beer? They do that at State Fair. I don't know how you would do it.
Deep fried beer. I've heard of it.
I don't know how it would happen. You can deep fry anything. I went to enough state fairs when I worked for Verizon.
That's your homework tonight, gang. Figure out how to deep fry beer. And
If they can do ice cream, they can do beer. We need to get our best men on it.
first?
Somebody call Elon!
And we'll be back with you tomorrow right here on ESPN Asheville at noon, again live from Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville. Enjoy the basketball, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Atlanta Braves opening day arrives next Thursday as the
Clear.
open the
Good Lord. I heard that, whoever that was, but at least it wasn't too bad.
Back to the wall it goes, streaking out of the ballpark. It's a 2-run home.
You look at that from the positive perspective.
For Atlanta Braves baseball all season.
Flying through the sky like a comet to straightaway center field.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back on ESPN Asheville.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Taxes with Turbo. Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. It's a walk in the park because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're back being tax prepared. Filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products.
What do you need me to delete?
Or a loved one have been a victim of crime. The
Okay. What was that? At the end.
Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for.
What was that? At the end.
Such as lost wages and medical expenses.
What?
ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trenton Doug, whose first instinct...
It already fired. It already played. You're good.
...to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pretty good cold front marching through Asheville. Most of the rains are now well to the east of us, and some chilly numbers next several nights rolling our way. We're down to 29 degrees tonight. It's a good 10 degrees colder than average for us. Sunshine Friday, high near 60. Breezy northwest winds have us under a wind. Sunshine Saturday, 65 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel.
Tank, you know what you should do?
By Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
ESPN Asheville, your #1 preset in the car, and now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler. Free never sounded so good.
All right, Tank, are you good to go? You good to go?